we are starting up the stream. I think I might be streaming on YouTube too. Hold on. Actually, I realized I have to turn a light on. So, 1 second. You're good, Haley. You can come back. Let's get this looking good, baby. Oh no, my plug's not plugged in. There we go. You want to come, Haley? You can come over here. All right, cool. Welcome, welcome, one and all. Parker's now. Why is it red? Stream elements. Let's see. Is this coming through? I don't see. I see multi-chat does not seem to be. Oh, there it is. It is working. Cool. Cool. Also, I'm transparent. Excellent. I have to get into champions. Cool. Let's get everything locked and loaded. Also, if people want to join the tournament, it's still, we're still, I cannot talk. We are still accepting people to join in. So if you want to join our tournament, that is an option. Let's see. Am I streaming on YouTube? I honestly don't know, because I have never done this before. Haha! It appears I am. It appears that I am. All right, let's see. I'm going to do general announcements. All right, cool. All right, cool. Excellent. All right, let's get out of here. Let's get some music going. Our tournament's gonna start in about 22 minutes, but I'm gonna log in now so you can see that, one, I'm transparent. I've got nothing to hide. But also, in case anyone joins in on Twitch or YouTube and wants to join the thingy, I can give you the information on how to do that. Let's pin limitless. Also, I'm going to turn this down a little bit so that I'm not having to yell over it. We're going to pin limitless here. Cool. And then I'm going to pin that for everyone to see. It's going to unpin at the end of the stream. You can join at any time. That's the exciting part about this. Alright. Multi-chat is up. I have Twitch activity feed. Do I have activity feed for everything else? I don't know. We're figuring this out together. Also, my girlfriend's dog, which I guess is my sweet little baby Haley, is joining us. Let's see. I have to look at YouTube. Also, let me say that check-in is open. Let's see. I keep slapping Mega Skarmory on teams, and I'm convinced that it's not the team for it, but Mega Skarm is really good. I can see that. Alright, cool. Let's see. We've got the tournament link up. Check-ins are happening. We have 50 registrations. I'm going to be offering commentary as we go. I guess what we could do is, well, first of all, we can get our new lineup, right? We can see if we get anybody. Let's see. Also, I'm trying to... The multi-chat is being weird. Let's see. Multi-chat is rude. Right. I don't know. Twitch stats. I don't need those. I was hoping I had a YouTube chat, but I guess multi-chat will count as YouTube chat, right? And I think there's a high likelihood that my bro, comes in and he can check on YouTube and tell me if it's working or not. Alright, love Jolteon, he's cool. Frostlass. Hisuian Decidueye is a cool Pokemon. Ooh, you know what? Aurorus might be something I have to try in the future. Because I was thinking about Snow Setters, and I was like, I think this Pokemon doesn't get Power Gem. It's always kind of been like a should be usable but never is kind of Pokemon, and we'll see if that still rings true in a while. Alright. We have 30 team lists. Also, I think Camerupt is a Pokemon I unironically need to explore. I don't think I have a Camerupt yet, so this one goes out to Paro. If you're out there, this one's for you. Grabbing Cammy. Okay. We have that's going on. Cool. Let's see. Alright. Alright, we're gonna do some battles real quick. I like just the top of Ailey peeking over. Alright, we'll do ranked. Where are we at? We're in 1940s. We're doing okay. We're gonna play with the team we've been playing with. Alright. And I'm gonna hydrate. Okay, excellent. This is a rough matchup for us. I don't think they ever bring the Meganium. I guess maybe they do. We're kind of cool to just bring a Azumarill. Are we? Yeah, let's do it. Plus Sinestcha. Do we just lean? I think we do just lean into the hard Trick Room mode. The annoying thing is we kind of have to get a Azumarill under Trick Room to beat Archaludon, and that's a bigger lift than you think it would be. Sneasler can just hard execute the Meganium, which is nice. The other thing is with Close Cheat, it is annoying because we don't know if that Sneasler is sashed or not. It kind of looks like it probably could be. Because the only other Pokemon on the team that probably wants to use the sash is Pelipper. And we don't have an electric move. So the fatal flaw of this team that I've built is that it doesn't have a great rain matchup. And it means that I kind of have to play harder to win. I did end up taking it to day 2 of the Scraw Limitless tournament, and already off the bat we see a lead we really don't love. My gut is just telling me, my gut's telling me that they probably they're probably going Rain Dance plus Wave Crash, right? This doesn't feel good. The Sneasler spot is offering literally nothing. The idea here is like, hey, I can threaten to get Trick Room up early. Okay, Protect. Was it worth it? I'm thinking it's probably a Rain Dance plus... Okay, Fake Out's fine. Armor Tail blocks it. Flip Turn off the Farrig. Okay, if Archaludon comes in, we're gonna go... Right, Druid. Also don't love that for us. Okay, that's fine. We're going to bring the Sinestcha, or bring that guy back in, and we're just going to. We can't even hurt this Sableye. It's so bad. Okay, we're just gonna Hyper Voice. If we can get this Azumarill online, we can win, but that's a tall ask. So basically, right now, what they're probably going to do is like they don't really have a reason not to switch the Meganium out. I guess they could just They're probably going to Mega the Meganium. And then probably click Rain Dance with the Sableye. and launch a Solar Beam into my Sneasler. Wait, did my goat figure out multi-streaming? We don't know yet. If your comment came from... Actually, I think it did. Holy moly. They hate Farigiraf. I was just scrolling YouTube, LOL. I'm glad it showed up. Alright. Critical hit. We take every bit of damage we can get. Then they foul play. They hate Farigiraf. But luckily, this is probably the most optimal play for us, because now what we get to do is we get to do... I'm really tempted to Dire Claw here, but if they have Quash, we lose. I'm glad you found me, Aiden. If they have Quash, we're gonna lose, but I'm gonna click Belly Drum because I feel like this is the only turn I'm gonna be able to get it online. I'm more than willing to just take that risk. They've shown Fake Out, they've shown Foul Play. They can only have so many more moves on these Pokemon. Okay, withdraws him. I actually don't hate that at all for me. Alright. Sure. Protect is fine. Probably won't play tonight. Kind of talking to girl I have a date with on Saturday. Ooh, that's awesome, dude. Congratulations. Have fun on your date. Okay. And now... I'm kind of thinking that it's a Dire Claw angle there. I kind of like Dire Claw plus Play Rough into that spot, because if they bring in Basculegion, it's fine, and I get to just take that out as well. And then we're one step closer to the end game here. Pelipper isn't... Pelipper, it's probably a two-shot to take it out with Aqua Jet. Hello, Banestar, welcome. We are going to have a tournament that we are exclusively commentating today. So if you want to participate in the tournament and you want constructive feedback, I'm going to be commentating on all of the rounds. So, and I was correct. They do switch out to that Basculegion. Thought they might. Tailwind goes up. Actually, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Oh, wait. Oh, that's hype. I don't know if I'm ready for a tournament. I'm pretty bad at this game. That's okay. I mean, if you don't want to do a tournament, no one's judging. Okay, so this is the decisive turn of the game. My opponent's angled it pretty well. With that said... I think I can always Dire Claw here. Plus Protect here. Okay. Do they Protect? They Hurricane, they are faster than me, which is fine because this is going to proc my Sash, which is going to mean that I am now faster than them. Because that is how this game works. Because I have Unburden. Goodbye, Druid. And now we only have one last Pokemon on their side of the field. And realistically, it's probably Archaludon. Oh, duh. We already knew it was Sableye. They do have the ability to click Fake Out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my round fellow out of there, and okay, I'm just gonna click Aqua Jet into Sableye and remove it, is the plan, because I can smack this Pelipper twice. That should be fine. All right, if you're not sure, I did make it to 1825 rating. Okay, so the thing, too, to consider with the tournament is, like, you don't... Oh, no. Oh, no. That's actually a play that can lose it for me. Oh, no. Well. I mean... Though, how many turns of... This is bad. This has gotten quite bad quite quickly here. Especially because we know they have foul play. So my new win condition is that I have to get Sinestro on the field the turn that my Encore ends. And that's going to be tricky. And basically, I think what that means is that I have to dodge a Hurricane this turn. No biggie. Like, sorry, this coming turn. The rain stops. Tailwind peters out. I heal 1 HP on Hospitality. Alright. If I live, I can do Trick Room. I think... Okay. I think that Azumarill gonna underspeed the Warlock. I can only use Protect. There's a world where Matcha Gotcha gives me enough health to live something. I wanted to use anything else. Oh, I could also run out of Protects as the other option, too. Alright, just miss this Hurricane Pelipper. Or should I say Melipper? Alright, Protect fails. Do they go for Foul Play? It might be greedy. Rain Dance. Oh, that always makes the Hurricane connect. Great play on their part. I did make it to 1825 rating MB. Yeah, that is good. 1825 is something for sure. All right, Encore ends. Now this is just gonna come down to who's faster, and my gut says it's them, but Tailwind is over now. Also, I think I'd mistargeted. I think I'm supposed to target into Pelipper. Total mistake there. I just got a little excited. I do outspeed though, and I say get out of here. Is it gonna take more than one Hurricane? I mean, it should take more than one. Is it going to take more than 2 is the question. It's going to take... Not like this. Alright. Super Aqua Jet in the rain. Let's go. Yeah, I needed to Aqua Jet the Pelipper in hindsight. I just got... Azumarill like, don't worry, I'll take us out. I'll completely remove our chances. All right, where's the multi-stream? And why did that go away? Oh, it's right here. Never mind. Okie dokie. Artichoke. We have 27 people checked in. The tournament's supposed to start in 5 minutes. Let's see. I'm gonna play one more round. You're good, Haley. Alright, cool. Let's shrink this down. Alright. Alright, this is a snow team with the ability to block priority, so Azumarill's not looking fantastic with the exception of if we can get Trick Room up. I do have Delphox, which outspeeds everything outside of a Mega Aerodactyl. If they do have Mega Aerodactyl, it's quite bad for me. I kind of like Garchomp here. It looks like it's good into everything that isn't Frostlass. Maybe I do this. Maybe I do angle for the Trick Room. I think that there is a reason to angle for it, right? So let's do these two. And I think that the plan is to bait them into thinking I'm going for priority moves. In reality, just switch in Farigiraf on my own early. Okay, this guy's Using a lot of Scovillain, apparently. Alright, Zarina. Well, consider the priority move baited, right? Alright. So, my gut's kind of saying, is that #1 VGXC Cutie Pie Parker Simmons, the one and only? Alright, my gut's kind of saying this is Mega Aerodactyl, and I don't really think I have an option for how to stop it, besides release Heat Wave. And Trop Kick is fake, right? Trop Kick is so fake. It's fine. Wait, what happens if that's Sash Zarina? It'll be fine. It is #1 VGC Cutie. Yeah, I was right. It is Mega Aerodactyl. I don't even think I survive a Rock Slide, so I'm about to have to dodge a Rock Slide. Also, the more I'm playing this team, it's so funny to me. Scovillain is so annoying, man. I'm sorry. Also, I'm multi-streaming, so if I sound like I'm talking to nobody, trust me, there's somebody there. I'm not that crazy yet. Alright, Rock Slide connects. Do I die? I live! Why did this happen to me? Where else are you streaming? I'm streaming on the Twitch and also the YouTube. That's so rough. You know what? I think we just have to dodge the Rock Slide, right? Right? Sure. I'm just trying to think how I can get through this. Okay, we're gonna play like we do dodge the Rock Slide. That's the plan. Dodging the Rock Slide, switching in the Farigiraf. Because the idea here is that it's going to keep Farigiraf healthy when I switch to Nestia in the following turn. And we can... Nope, we never dodged the Rock Slide. He actually became a kick streamer after the Champions Festival. Why do they land all their moves? I can't Aqua Jet. Oh, you're saying that you brought Zarina. Guys. Mom said it's my turn. Mom said it's my turn. You have to miss your moves. Okay. You're gonna miss your Power Whip. You're gonna miss your Rock Slide. Stop doing that! They hit everything! They can't miss if they believe in themselves. How come I'm not allowed to believe in myself? Well, we got Trick Room up, which means there might be a game? Are you guys ready to see the most Hail Mary play of all time? You guys want to see the most Hail Mary play of all... No. Right, there's a chance they protect this turn, though, right? Right? Because, like, I am threatening enough damage to get a double. They're so far ahead. If this Aerodactyl has Wide Guard too, I'm believing. I'm believing. Here comes Melodic, sure. Alright. Okay, I was right to not Belly Drum. Scream at him. Okay. Well, now we can Aqua Jet, which is nice. Alright, we have 37 people ready. We're gonna start the tournament in just a second. I'm gonna be doing commentary this time, so if you wanted to see my beautiful battles, this is it. This is all you get. I was really expecting the play rough to miss. Do not do that. Do not put that on me. All right. Is it bad that I'm like looking at Belly Drum like it might be the guy right now? All right. I think it's just helping hand play rough and saying like, Azumarill, I'm leaving the rest to you, buddy. tournament. 40 people checked in. 39 people ready. Alright. I'm passing the last of my Hamon on to you. Sucker Punch. People that use Queenly Majesty don't know how the other ability works. That's fine. Azumarill, you got this. Scald. Alright. That puts us right below half. No! like this! Sorry for yelling, Haley. I'm sorry. My dog is, my girlfriend's dog is like, why are you screaming? Alright, play rough. The burn is just icing on top. Just check the battle data. Primarina and Delphox are both top 30 where they belong. Alright, alright, we're gonna start this tournament off. Let me...
Wait, don't start it yet.
Don't start it yet?
Give me 2 seconds to EV to Kangaskhan.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I definitely didn't have choice browsers last minute.
Guys, I can't do it. The universe doesn't want me to win. The King Gambit lives on 1. My Azumarill ticks out to burn. I was so close, but the universe said no. It's okay. The King Gambit's gonna forget about Sucker Punch again. They did! Sorry for yelling, Haley. Alright, even with this, even with everything going good for me... Oh, they have a citrus berry, too. Yippee! Alright. Wanted to say hi on both platforms. Thank you for the hellos on both platforms. Alright, Twisted Dimensions return to normal. And we just cry a little bit. Alright. Maybe if they scald their own Aerodactyl and make this Hyper Voice single target. I've only said hello on one platform. You gotta up your numbers, man. If you want to get good at VGC, you gotta say hello on all the platforms. This might be the first Pokepals where I'm not running Mega Guardy. I'm running Dual Mega. Oh, there's my luck. It just came way too late. I'm running Dual Mega with Guardy and Glamora. That's pretty sick. Alright, John, are you in? Alright, what's the Rumble stream link? I don't know what Rumble even is, guys. I'm over 30. I don't know what these newfound technologies are.
Parker, you're not out there playing the Pokemon Rumble with the kids?
Oh, Pokemon Rumble. I know what Rumble is.
I have no idea what they're talking about, but I'm just guessing.
Oh, okay. Also, let me make sure that I'm turning John up so he can be heard.
Oh, that's okay. I'm just not shouting right now. It'll change once I start playing games.
Okay. Also, for the record, I'm just commentating this tournament. I'm not playing it.
Better.
Well, yep. I'm not even sure it's still working. It's an old platform. All right, John. It is 5 minutes late though, so I feel like I have to start.
You can start. I got my Kangaskhan. It's fine.
Okay. All right, we're gonna start. All right. Let's do tournament round updates. Round 1 is up. This is also nice as a judge too because Lazy Warlock says hi, John. This is nice as a judge as well because I get to do all my judgy things and I don't have to worry about missing something. Kamikaze Kid has a bye round 1. Lazy Warlock versus the Spino. We got a few other people. We got George G versus Jimmy Dog. Dave Spins versus Jujulio. Heyo Alex versus Baylor. Piggy versus Barazuka, or Barazuka. Cody Whale versus White Boy VGC. VGC Dan versus Ijon. Smogolem versus PK Hex. You know what, let me just, instead of talking at you, why don't I just read these off so that you can see them too. Let's get this over here. And switch property, nope, not that one. Window capture, There we go, there are the pairings. So make sure you see your name. If you don't see your name, it's okay. You probably just didn't check in. I have late check-in available on this tournament, so if you did not check in, you can still enter the tournament. We're accepting people at all times, so. Also, I love some of these names, like Farming Sim. That's funny. We got John V versus Kimmy, Agniso versus Benguins, Toasty YHG. I can't spell, apparently. We got Master Mark versus TDL. Cherry Ballad versus Mr. Augie. Almond Spy versus Darwin OM. Eden Lau versus Gufumbo. Holasoy versus Rodulus. And AGP VGC versus Izzy Wooperstein. So, on that note, we're going to be doing some commentary. I'm going to be jumping into games. I haven't heard from anyone that was like, I specifically want a commentary of my game yet, so I'm just going to...
I want you to judge my game, Parker, because I've played exactly 0 games with this team, so we'll learn it together.
I mean, I can judge your game, but I feel like if I'm doing it, I should do it, like, non-partisan. Like, I feel like I can't be giving you an edge, you know?
No, of course not. That would be cheating.
How does it... Sorry, I see now. Nebula64 says, Dog is short for Desert Eagle, so it's pronounced Deagle. I like that, but it's not my actual name, so pronounce however you want. How does it work when you enter a tournament? Okay, great question. So, and I see that you said you've never done an open team sheet tournament before. The way it works is you'll get paired into a game. So let's do, where is it? I like just heard it. I just learned how to spell it. It's Diag, or Dag, right? How do I say this? Let me see. Diagle. D-A. Oh, there it is. It's right at the top. I'm blind. Okay, so you'll get paired into your opponent, right? And normally what will happen is both players, like if I was playing, like if I was Georgie, I would see Nebula's team right here down at the bottom. We can look at it right here, but you'll see like, okay, they're running a Mega Venusaur team plus Choice Scarf Basket Legion, and all their moves are available. And basically you have to use that information to try and come up with your best game plan on how to defeat their team. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch over, and this is actually going to be the first game we're going to watch today. So I'm going to take their code and I'm going to put it in, and you guys will all be able to watch it. Oh, you have to put your team in when you register? Yep, you have to put your team in first thing. When you register for the tournament, you can't, basically tournament starts, you're locked in. It's like, I'm done, I'm here. I love watching back commentary of my games low-key. It is always fun. Maybe we'll have time to commentate yours later, Cherry. All right, let's see. Okay, I have to go to battle. I was like looking for spectate mode, but it's just in battle. All right, private battles. Enter a room ID. This one's gonna be 333-45899. Sounds great. Sounds fun. I can try for next week then. Totally, yeah. We'll be here every single week. Honestly, playing in a tournament is a lot like ripping off a Band-Aid because, like, you're never guaranteed results. Like, even if you get better, it's always hard. Pokemon's a game with a lot of variance, so it's okay to, like, get in one and just completely lose. My first tournament ever, I lost. All right, so looking at the teams, let's look at Georgie's team. All right, Georgie's running a Mega Gengar team with 2 attacks and Perish Song. So they have the ability to pivot around and pin things in. But right now we're seeing that they're going with the Pelipper Archaludon mode, which offers a lot of heavy damage with like continuous electro shots. So this move is going to charge up eventually. I think so, right? Maybe not. Maybe I'm having technical issues. Is this just me? Guys, are we soft locked? Are we... Should I leave? Hold on. We're gonna leave and we're gonna come back and hope that that was just a one-off thing. Working as intended. Okay, I didn't know if like my Twitch stopped or if like my internet had stopped, so that's good to know. Thank you, Banestar, for responding. Okay, cool. We're back. They're still just trapped in limbo. Okay, disable goes off. All right, disable's gonna make it so that they can no longer use the move Electro Shot. So Archaludon's no longer gonna... Okay, this Archaludon's attacks are Flash Cannon, Draco Meteor, and Electro Shot, which means it can no longer hit King Gambit for non-resisted damage. Low Kick is gonna do a lot of damage back into the Archaludon. So this Archaludon, which normally would be really offensively threatening this King Gambit, has all of a sudden become... I don't want to say it's like a wet noodle, it's obviously doing damage. Also, that did damage. Brother, got any tips for Monotype Electric Pokemon for VGC? my tip is probably to play Scarlet and Violet and use Miraidon. In Champions, I'd have to look. I saw more Pico made day 2 of the Scraw event, so maybe start looking at him. Alright, so...
Graded myself always.
Yeah, Blake was using it. Okay. In Champions, the Rizzler... I'm assuming this is the Rizzler. Like, you wouldn't be impersonating anybody, but let me look. I'll look after this round. Okay. Archaludon, Politoed versus Basculegion and Venusaur. They've taken 2 KOs. Realistically, if they have Gengar in... Actually, Politoed probably has Perish Song. If Politoed can get this Perish Song off... Also, thank you for the follow, the Rizzler. But anyway, if Politoed can get this Perish Song off, these Pokemon will only have 3 turns to clear every single Pokemon on George's side of this, or Jorge's side of this, the field. Mega Venusaur is also... I got you, my brother. I appreciate it. Mega Venusaur is also a more tanky Pokemon. While it is super effective into Politoed, it might not be... I guess, let me see. What move does it have? If it has Leaf Storm, it'll probably pick up, but if it's got Giga Drain, it might not. Alright, they go for a defensive turn. It looks like they're just trying to stall out the weather and also scout what moves are going to be used. Okay. Basculegion's going for a Last Respects. Honestly, I don't think Last Respects will pick up Politoed because there's still a Pokemon remaining and it's not going to have the full base power. Actually, Politoed has some chip on it, so it is possible. It's going to be close, though. Venusaur is so bulky. Venusaur is one of, like, when I played X and Y, this is back before VGC, Venusaur was my guy. I was using him all the time. Also, Banestar's cheering on Nebula. It's okay. Sometimes having a board where you only have your 2 Pokemon remaining left, if you have the weather conditions in the way you want them to be, or Tailwind, or the board state how you want it to be, it could be advantageous for you. Alright, this Politoed survives at 7. Realistically, since they both double protected, Venusaur could pretty safely just double into that spot to secure a KO. Basculegion also survives. Did Venusaur follow up? Venusaur did follow up. Politoed is removed. That's one more threat that they don't have to worry about for Perish Song. Will it be enough? Only time will tell. Also, I can check how many turns are left of weather, so let's see. Alright. We're waiting. Okay, so Basculegion comes out. Realistically, okay, so there's 1 turn left of rain. So, depending on whose Basculegion is faster, the Basculegion on Jimmy's side, which is Nebula, is Choice Scarf adaptability, which means that it is... Sorry, hiccup. It is not a rain-boosted Basculegion. Aqua Jet's going to be enough to pick up. And then this Basculegion is Swift Swim. So that Basculegion now has the choice to switch which move it's using next turn. Earth Power is going to be enough to pick up, but realistically, this Basculegion is threatening a lot of damage, also has the ability to click Protect this turn, and we still don't even know what the final Pokemon is here. If it's Meganium, this Basculegion's kind of looking like a snack, but it is Gengar. And because we just saw that Venusaur had its special defense lowered, it's a very scary board state here. Because, like, Venusaur might even be in range of 2 Last Respects, so it's kind of, Venusaur has a big guessing game in front of it. I don't think a single Earth Power picks up Gengar, but it has to do 2 in order to take it out. Or so it probably will have to do 2 to take it out. Gengar could be pretty free here to just click Perish Song while Basculegion protects. But realistically, I don't think that that's necessary, and all they have to do is double into this Venusaur with attacks, and Venusaur just won't be able to take all the damage. Sludge Bomb brings it really low, and then we see Last Respects follows up, and Venusaur is gone. So Jorge wins that round. Nebula does lose, and that's okay, because now, because it is a tournament, we go to the next round. So it's a best of 3. So now they get to adapt. It looked like last time they led Archaludon plus Politoed, and honestly, Archaludon is a very difficult Pokemon to break, so it makes sense. But the thing is, the very scary thing is that Gengar with the ability Shadow Tag has the ability to, like, keep Pokemon pinned down, right? So if they lead Gengar and they're not ready for it, they might get trapped in with a Pokemon that's not being helpful into the rest of Jorge's team. So Gengar is pretty notoriously one of the strongest Mega Pokemon, and we're going to have to see if Nebula can adapt. It seems like both players want the rain, so it's going to be pretty tricky. Gengar low-key is scary even into Rotom teams. Yeah. I feel like... So, that is one of the benefits of using Delphox, is Delphox is one of the only Pokemon in the game that outspeeds Gengar and also is capable of one-shotting it. So, that is a nice reason to use Delphox. But it seems like people are coming up with counter strategies on how to deal with that. Notably, if you're bringing Delphox into Gengar, how are you dealing with the rest of this whole rain team, right? So... That's how you see the meta evolve. Also, I like Joe the Phoenix just dropping a shadow. Hey, Joe. Jolteon outspeeds. Does Jolteon outspeed Gengar? I think they're tied. Let me look. I'll verify. So Mega Gengar specifically is what we're talking about. So Mega Gengar has a base speed of 130, and Jolteon has a base speed of 130. So they are speed tying. Yep, double checked. Okay. So Archaludon and Politoed versus Venusaur and Kingambit. So notably, Kingambit is kind of threatened by the Electro Shot. Archaludon has a Steel move and a Dragon move, so it can hit Venusaur with that Steel and Dragon move. And Politoed is just kind of Politoading. With Giga Drain, I don't think that Venusaur will be able to pick up Politoed in one hit. But if Venusaur takes any damage, he can heal off of Politoed really easily. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a double up into Archaludon this turn. All right, Flash Cannon does a good chunk to Venusaur. Drops the special defense again. This guy cannot catch a break, unfortunately. Politoed is a health pack. He heals all the way back up with the critical hit. Okay, so we just saw critical hit is not enough to remove Politoed. Politoed eats a Citrus Berry, and then Kingambit returns fire with a low kick. It's going to take Archaludon to about half, and I believe last time we saw that Archaludon has leftovers. Yeah, Oosh is right. What's the advantage of Politoed over Pelipper? The advantage is Politoed doesn't take quad damage from electric moves, and also, more notably, on this team, has the ability to set Perish Song. Okay, so everyone's taking a lot of damage, but some things to note are that the way that the moves interact with all the Pokemon, even from last turn, are not going to be the same going into this turn. Because Archaludon got a special defense drop on the Venusaur, it's probably threatening Venusaur with potentially a one-shot with Draco Meteor based on how much damage they did with Flash Cannon last turn. Let's see if they go for it, and let's see if it's enough. It might not be, but it's going to be close. Yeah, okay, so it takes it down really low. Venusaur goes for an Earth Power, which goes through Archaludon's okay. I cannot talk. Archaludon's special defense does not go up with Stamina proc, so one way to circumvent its longevity is to attack it with physical attacks first, then special attacks second. Alright, this Basculegion, it's kind of in a weird spot because Kingambit's threatening it with Sucker Punch, but it has the ability to click Aqua Jet. The question is, do we think that Basculegion's Aqua Jet can pick up Venusaur from this range? Also, if Basculegion wants... okay, so... Also, the Basculegion might be EV to just survive a Sucker Punch, and if that's the case, then it can just threaten the KO into Venusaur. And this Venusaur's only real way of healing is with with Giga Drain, so it's kind of in a hard spot here. Yeah, Overheat is scary. Okay, so... Basculegion protects. Kingambit goes for Sucker Punch. Venusaur goes for Giga Drain. But this might create a board state that's unfavorable for Nebula here. We'll have to see. Because to me, that feels like Jorge wanted that to happen. Like, they're like, okay, I have a better chance of getting through this endgame if I get my next Pokemon in, which is Gengar. Honestly, it's still going to be really hard to deal with this Kingambit, but notably... Now you can disable Sucker Punch. Like, but I still think that this lead is just threatening too much damage, and I don't know if Jorge has enough in the tank to get through this. Aqua Jet crazy. Aqua Jet definitely can be crazy. I feel like Nebula's in a really good position here. One thing to note, though, is if Gengar... Actually, you know what? Okay, so if King Gambit Sucker Punches into Gengar, that could be pretty good. Aqua Jet comes out into King Gambit. It does not pick up. Sucker Punch goes into Basculegion and it fails, or it goes into Gengar and it fails. Gengar goes for Shadow Ball. It's going to be enough to pick up the Venusaur, and all of a sudden the momentum is completely shifted here. So realistically, a better play that could have been made this turn, and it's a hindsight's 50-50 kind of thing, is that if Nebula used Giga Drain into the opponent's Basculegion and Sucker Punched into Gengar, Sucker Punch probably picks up Gengar. Gengar's not known for having good defense, so they would get the ability to take out the Gengar and force it to be a 3v1 situation. Is that Shiny Mega Gengar? That is. Normal Gengar is just a white Pokemon. Alright, so now Swift Swim. Okay, Sucker Punch does not pick up Basculegion. They did not go for Aqua Jet because Sucker Punch would have gone first. Last Respects goes into the other Basculegion because this Basculegion is Swift Swim, and slowly but surely this game is just slipping right between Nebula's fingers. The rain stops, and notably it's gonna really all fall on the shoulders of one last Pokemon, and that Pokemon is Sableye. Can Sableye beat Gengar and Basculegion on its own? Because King Gambit's really threatened here by Aqua Jet from Basculegion. So realistically, what could happen is that yeah, LOL, Sableye. Realistically, if Sableye can remove Basculegion, then King Gambit will be free to click Sucker Punch. But the thing is then we might be in a Perish-long endgame. All right, King Gambit just goes for the Protect. Basculegion goes for another Aqua Jet. Sableye goes for Will-O-Wisp. That must be Sableye's only offensive move. Alright, Will-O-Wisp is going to potentially tick this Basculegion out. Let's see if... Alright, Shadow Ball. Not enough. It is a critical hit. Even with luck on their side. Basculegion lives on 1, but is burned. Okay. So notably, Gengar's only attacks are Shadow Ball and Sludge Bomb. So if Sableye disables Shadow Ball this turn, then King Gambit will be free to click Kowtow Cleave because actually, you know what? That's not entirely true. This is a really weird turn because Basculegion's not locked into Aqua Jet. It's not a Choice Scarf Pokemon, which means that Basculegion has the ability to attack into King Gambit with a move that isn't Aqua Jet. Alright, Aqua Jet comes out. It is not enough to pick up, but it is pretty darn close. Sucker Punch into Gengar is enough to pick up, and this is a masterclass, and you're going to see that this Sableye player is able to bring it back because that Will-O-Wisp is just enough disabled. Doesn't matter that I can't physically hurt you. I'm going to do Status Affliction, and that's going to be enough to end this game. Cringe Gambit, my dog. Gengar Protect, Aqua Jet into King Gambit would have been enough, right? No, because Aqua Jet we just saw wasn't enough. So, because they would have ticked out from burn no matter what. And the reason they clicked Disable that turn, it was a good comeback. Well, the game did switch back and forth a lot. There were a few turns that went their way and a few turns that went not their way. So, but that was a great one to watch, though.
Wait, I'm gonna say it. Dragonite's a fraud, bro.
Dragonite is like the ultimate counter into my team, so...
I don't know, my Basculegion just ate a Thunder from Modest Max Dragonite. That mon's so fake.
I hear ya, that's rough.
That feels so illegal for them.
Basculegion is one of the best Pokemon of the format for that reason. Okay, so people are saying Cringe Gambit, Gengar Protect plus... Oh, I already heard that. Great comeback, beautiful game. Wow, I'm so dumb. I knew the tour started at 8:30 a.m. my time, and I was sitting here waiting till 9 for some reason. No worry, Apex. The thing is with my tournaments, you can join in at any time. It's open admission. You just will take a round loss for game 1. So if the goal is to win the tournament, you might be out of contention to do that. Like if you go 4-1, it's still possible. But you can get some practice in. That's what my tournaments have always been about. Because I need to lock in for the rest of my matches. Do it up. Also, it's like, even if you don't win, you get great practice. Oh, we can still enter? You can still enter. In Banestar, it might be good for you to enter late, because then you don't have to worry about like oh, I entered a tournament, like I didn't get first place. You're coming in late, you know, it's just practice. It's just like, this is what a real tournament looks like. This is how we do it. Not just want practice, then sign up, get in here, play some games. Let me make sure that it's open for you guys.
5 rounds of Swiss for fun.
Yeah, it's 5 rounds of Swiss, no top cut.
Stress.
Alright, tournaments, I'm making sure. Let's see. Let me make sure registration. Yep, late player registration is still available. And I believe I pinned the message in the Discord or on the Twitch chat, so you can see it right up there. All right, so both players have stuck with old reliable. They're like, you know what? I think that this is my best lead into the opposing team. I think that I just need to play it a little bit differently. So it's a bit tricky here. And what we do know is that since both Pokemon outspeed, King Gambit is kind of threatened here. Like, King Gambit could go down to a double up. Actually, did Politoed outspeed? I can't remember. It's important to remember these things. When I'm playing, I do a better job, but since I'm just commentating, I'm like, whatever. So I'm pretty sure King Gambit was the last Pokemon, though. I think the order went Archaludon, Venusaur. Maybe Politoed is last. Politoed is last.
Are the King and Politoed at the same speed, I want to say?
That seems correct. I'm gonna look it up while we're here.
That's all about the big well.
Alright, Politoed is base... No, Politoed's base 70. So this might just be a faster King Gambit if it outsped. Alright, Electro Shot. That's most likely into King Gambit because Venusaur resists that attack. Alright. King Gambit takes it. He takes it, but he's really hanging on here. Giga Drain's gonna do most of Politoed's health. And last game, King Gambit was kind of the linchpin. And they're like, hey, if we can remove King Gambit turn 1, King Gambit does go next. It is invested in its speed. Alright, but I think that this might be curtains for King Gambit here. A pivotal piece is removed from Nebula's board. The Pokemon that potentially took out the whole thing, or took down the whole opposition last game. Like, the ghost types that are most likely in the back really, really don't love that King Gambit, so now that it's gone. How do you submit your team list? When you click registration, it should give you the ability to submit your team list. Alright, Archaludon brought here is the next Pokemon in line. So we've seen that Jorge's Archaludon is pretty fast. We don't know whose Archaludon is faster at the moment. The other players might know, but the thing is like, how do you remove an Archaludon at this point? And I think the answer is you have to use Draco Meteor. So if you do that, then this Archaludon is going to be kind of a wet noodle in terms of offensive damage. Alright, Archaludon protects. Archaludon protects. We saw that Jorge's Archaludon did go faster this time. Earth Power goes into Archaludon, and it sets Politoed up to get Icy Wind. Well, Icy Wind's going to help with speed control. Potentially this Politoed will now outspeed this Venusaur. But the thing is that because we saw that Jorge's Archaludon outsped that time, it's likely that his Archaludon is just faster, and at bare minimum, it's a speed tie. You need to pay attention to things even like Protect turns, because it tells you a lot. It tells you things like whose Archaludon is faster. Thanks for the follow, TLB HitGirl83. We're commentating a tournament. The tournament's open registration. If you want to join in, you can join in at any time. It's in the link. But anyway, we're in the middle of a Game 3 between this Perish Trap Rain team and this Mega Venusaur team. Alright, Draco Meteor falls on Archaludon. It's not enough to pick up, but he is really, really low now. He gets a defense boost. Notably, they don't have Body Press on this game. Electro Shot from the Archaludon saying, you know what? I'm not going to remove your Archaludon, but what I am going to do is I'm going to get a boost off of your Politoed, and I'm going to be annoying to any Pokemon that are in the back, and just be like this constant threat on the board. Electro Shot into Archaludon. Very interesting play. Alright, now we have to see who's faster, Venusaur or Politoed after that Icy Wind. Politoed is faster after the and now Perish Song goes up. Basically, this really bulky Venusaur, the bulk's not going to matter when Perish Song removes it from the field in 3 turns. And honestly, I don't know, the double up into Archaludon might have been unnecessary, especially now that you have to play this game where not only are you at like a health bar deficit, but you're also like in this weird end game where you have to pick which moves to use because your Pokemon are going to start fainting. Notably, Archaludon does come out of this exchange with a +1, which is kind of nice, but at the same time, it's like, how are you going to get to use that +1 is the next question. Alright, Gengar enters the field. Gengar hasn't activated its ability yet, which is Shadow Tag, so both Pokemon can switch out this turn. Sorry, one Pokemon can switch out this turn, because there's only one Pokemon in the back. Which means that this Gengar's kind of free to just do that, like, either set up another Parasong or swing with damage into both these Pokemon. We've also seen King Gambit's been removed from Nebula's side of the field, so it's unlikely that any of Nebula's Pokemon can like outspeed and KO this this Gengar. I guess there is the chance that they brought Basculegion as the 4th and final Pokemon, but the thing is that are you gonna just bring it in? Okay. Shadow Ball connects into Archaludon. And Icy Wind comes out from Politoed. Notably, Venusaur is now the slowest Pokemon in the field, so if Nebula is able to remove all of the Pokemon on Jorge's side of the field, Nebula will win. Sorry, if all the other Parasong Pokemon. I actually think that removing Politoed here might have been a misplay, and I'll tell you why in a second. I think that if you leave Politoed in, because Venusaur is now the slowest, you now have Perish Trap working in your favor. If you remove all of their Pokemon with the exception of Politoed, Venusaur will then win the game. And also you give them a free switch into Basculegion. Basculegion, we've seen that this Basculegion on Jorge's side is Swift Swim Basculegion, so it outspeeds the other Basculegion. If Venusaur attacked into Jorge's Gengar and left Politoed in, Jorge would have been left with a difficult decision of, do I remove my Politoed that's got the Parasong on it and expose my Basculegion to Venusaur, or do I just stay in and let Politoed go down? And now, since Basculegion's been released, it's a free KO into Nebula's Basculegion. And now Venusaur has to remove 2 Pokemon with Perish ticking down, and realistically, it's going to be too difficult to do. I think that these 2 Pokemon have the potential to even remove Venusaur with damage. But Perish, yeah, that's going to do it. GG, they both played really well. It's really difficult. It's so cool you can spectate like this. Oh, I know, I'm so in love with it. It's great. I think when, like, okay, so obviously we're in like a big upswing of people interested in Pokemon. I think in the future, when interest starts to wane, I'm probably gonna commentate more and participate less. I love playing Pokemon, but I feel like being able to like talk through this stuff is really exciting to me. The announcer telling me why I'm bad at Pokemon while I'm playing is brutal. I'm sorry, I don't think you're bad at Pokemon at all. The Spino 12 followed me. Thank you for the follow. I don't think you're bad. It's a really difficult decision to make, and I would have probably made similar decisions in the moment too, Nebula. You're not bad at Pokemon. You brought it to game 3, and it was a really hard game. Also, thank you for the follow, the Spino and Vinex. Really appreciate both of those. And you know what? If people don't want me spectating their matches, that's something they can say too. I'm going to pop in and I'm gonna message people before I do. Nebula, you played that really well. It was a really hard game. Perish Trap is one of the hardest things to go up against. All right. Also, let's see. Is Joan and VGC Dan are in the middle of a set? I'm going to see if I can pop in real quick. You're fine. I appreciate the tournament for practice and glad you're streaming. Happy I was on stream, just making a joke. Okay. I just always want to make sure that I'm not like... never mind. I was going to say, I'm not the kind of person that would be bullying anybody. Like, I'm not... thank you for being understanding. I think this is going to rule to see a rise of non-player personalities thanks to it. Yeah, I think so too. Alright. Also, we had a day change, so I wonder if that's going to remove people from tournaments. Hopefully not. It might remove people from lobbies. like, after the rounds end, hopefully. We're joining Dan's room. Realistically, since that last game went to game 3, it's highly likely that this game's coming to a close right now. But we're gonna see. Joined late for practice. Let's go. Way to everyone, you know, give Banestar a round of applause. They're participating in their first tournament ever. Just mental energy to them. Okay. Ijon has a, hold on, Hisuian Decidueye, tell me that's Mega Altaria. Okay, it is. Beautiful. Alright, Hisuian Decidueye has Scrappy, it's Charty Berry Pelipper, Citrus Berry Raichu, Black Glasses Gambit, and Double Mega. Okay, so we're coming in here. No Pokemon have been removed yet. Basculegion is hanging on at 1 HP. It is in the rain. Let me check. Is Dan's Basculegion Swift Swim? It is. Okay, but Basculegion's being threatened pretty heavily by this King Gambit. Doing a great job commentating, good insight, and your yapping speed gets everything covered. Love the see-through shirt too. It's because, yeah, I'm transparent. You, I am yapping at mock levels here to make sure every single thing is beamed into all of your heads. If it's too much, let me know. We can slow down. Okay. Alright, so Raichu used Nuzzle. Nuzzle's a great move because it does low damage, but it gives Para guaranteed. So if Basculegion tries to switch out for later, Nuzzle's a great move because it's like, hey, this will either KO your Basculegion, or it'll offer me speed control into whatever comes in. And because Dan has no ground types, it's guaranteed to get Paralysis. Alright, now let's look at this board. It's Raichu Altaria versus Basculegion and Archaludon. Altaria currently is offering Cloud9, which means that despite it looking like it's raining, it's not. Like, the effects of rain are not in play right now. So, actually, Basculegion is the second fastest Pokemon, Raichu's most likely the fastest, and Archaludon can't use Electro Shot. So, Basculegion switches out, and we're likely to see this Nuzzle play happen in real time right here. And if it's into Gengar, that's going to be even better. Oh, okay, never mind. Ijon says, you know what? I want my Altaria to transcend and become Mega Altaria, a Queen of the Skies. Oh my god, it's just blocking out Gengar entirely. When Altaria Megas, it also oh, Nuzzle's been disabled. When it Megas, it becomes immune to the Dragon type. Okay, so Raichu takes a Draco Meteor, Archaludon's stats go down. Gengar is now paralyzed, which means it's unlikely to be the fastest Pokemon in the field. Hyper Voice now can hit Gengar because it is now using Pixelate Hyper Voice, which means that is a Fairy type move. So Ijon, despite not taking any KOs, really has put a lot of pressure on by putting a Paralysis on one of the fastest Pokemon in the game, and also doing like a good considerable amount of damage into Archaludon. So despite getting his offensive Pokemon in play, like, Dan's really in a really tricky spot here. And also, I was talking about Lightning or Electro Shot, but the thing is, Raichu's ability is Lightning Rod, which means all electric moves are always directed towards it. I haven't seen this Mega in game. Cloudy View now. Yeah, sorry, it's cloudy with a chance of rain. Now that Altaria is Mega, if we're seeing from behind its perspective, we're not seeing anyone. Thank you, Pig Hog, for continuing your sub. Greatly appreciated. Okay, so Gengar Megas. There is a chance that it outspeeds Altaria. I don't know what Mega Altaria's base speed is. Altaria is not known for being a very fast Pokemon. We'll see if it's Mega's base 80. So depending on how it's invested, it might outspeed Gengar. We'll have to see. All right. Archaludon was encored into Draco Meteor, which means it has to use Draco Meteor consistently from now on. And Altaria is immune to it. So Draco Meteor comes out into Gengar. A critical hit. I don't think that matters based on how much damage Hyper Voice did last turn, but Gengar is gone and so is the Shadow Tag. Would you cuddle a Mega Altaria? Of course I would. Like, I mean, I kind of, like, the fact that it's got 5 tendrils of fluff coming off the back of it, though, it makes me feel like it would just kind of consume you with fluff. So I don't know about that, actually. I think if you cuddle it, I don't think you're coming out of there. Okay, so Politoed re-enters the field. And despite the fact that Altaria at one point had Cloud9, it no longer does. But with that said, Archaludon is locked into Draco Meteor, and I believe its stats are at like -2 because it's already launched one into Raichu. Another one's unlikely to pick up into Raichu because Raichu healed up from his Citrus Berry. And Altaria also is at -2 because A follow-up from Altaria might be enough to do it. Raichu just spreading paralysis on everything. Gets a para on the Politoed. Draco Meteor into Raichu. Is it enough to pick up? A critical hit will do it. It's not enough. And then Altaria is going to go for Tailwind. That's going to offer speed control for the remaining Pokemon on Ijon's side of the field. And realistically, we know it's Kingambit, not notoriously a very fast Pokemon. But if it gets in with Tailwind and all these Pokemon are paralyzed, it will be the fastest. Because paralysis cuts your Pokemon's speed in half, and Tailwind doubles your speed. So it doesn't, like, unless Kingambit is 1/4 of the speed of another Pokemon, it's going to outspeed it. And it's hard to be that slow. A lot of Pokemon sometimes want to be that slow. Like, you have to work to get that slow. So, alright. We've got a paralyzed Politoed. We've got a -2 Archaludon. We got a fainted Gengar, and we've got Basculegion coming in, potentially on a Nuzzle. Well, here comes another Thunderbolt. It's into Politoed. It's not enough to pick up, though. Politoed hangs on. Hyper Voice will be enough to pick up, though. And Basculegion was at 1 health, so it also goes down. So now everything, literally everything, rests on the shoulders of this Archaludon, who cannot click Electroshock because Raichu's on the field. And like that, the game is over. The writing is on the wall. Congratulations to Ijon. He played that very well. Or they played that very well. Alright, let me check on the tournament and see how it's going. Great games from both players. It was really, honestly, it's difficult to play that well. Like, both players did a great job. And even though Ijon won, like, there was intention behind every single choice that the opposing player made. And that's the thing. Unfortunately, there can only be one winner every single round. But man, oh man, did both players play well. Okay. All right, and that is the end of round 1. We're going to pair into round 2. Let's see. I'm going to announce that for everybody. If you're in the Discord, round 2 is up. If you're in the Discord, let me get this. If you're in the Discord, I make announcements about when tournaments are happening and when rounds are going live, so be sure to join. Playing a weird team like this, it feels nice getting a win on the board. You got a win on the board on stream too. You were pivoting that Raichu in. You were doing it all. When I swapped Sneasler for Bask to test, I really didn't respect Kingambit. Yeah, Kingambit being the #1 Pokemon in the format, it's pretty difficult. It's pretty difficult. Oh, it's pretty difficult, but you know what? Somehow, you'll manage and you'll adapt, and that's the game. Sometimes you have to, defo go back after this, haha. Yeah, I mean, how are you gonna know if, how are you going to know if it's a good innovation without trying? So part of this game, for people that are playing the first time or, like, learning about it, is that everybody, good, bad, everybody makes bad teams. That's how you get to good teams. Not that Dan's team is bad at all. It's the act of innovating and trying something new is a risk. So if you're not risking and trying something new, you're gonna never find anything that's gonna work. Like, if you stick to what's already worked, awesome, you can probably get some good results. But if you want to try and break the mold, you have to take risks. And, like, I've made plenty of terrible teams, but that's not an indicator of what makes you good at Pokemon. What makes you good at Pokemon is the ability to play something, notice what worked about it, what didn't work, and just accept that, like, hey, not every single team's gonna be a winner. And in fact,
you made some terrible teams.
Yeah, I brought Torterra to NAIC. Like, I flew to New Orleans, and I was, like, at the bottom tables. Like, I
thought this was a good idea, too.
What?
You thought this was a good idea.
And I thought it was a good idea, yeah. Yeah, Ijon says they've made a lot of awful teams. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you innovate and become the Eggman. So true. I tried making a Mega Sharpedo team, not a good idea. You say that, Ijon, but Blake, a friend, made more Peko plus Sharpedo team, and they made it to day 2 and went like 10-4 of the Scraw event. So maybe sometimes there is merit to Pokemon sometimes only fit in on a certain spot. Like sometimes it's hard because your favorite might be like the perfect 6 Pokemon on someone else's team. So it's really tricky building good teams. Sometimes, yes, I would never have gotten top 4 at Louisville if I didn't like try freaking Exeggutor, because at the time no one was using it, and then it was like, oh, this is the best thing ever. I tried a Guts Conkeldurr team last night to counter Skullvillain, and I only won 2 out of 15 games with it. Yeah, but you tried something. That's what's awesome. Oh, I've made some stinkers, that's for sure. That's like the common bonding factor for like most VGC players that have been in it for a while. Is like, I feel like a good question is like, what was your best team? And what was your worst team that you thought would be good? Like, I think everyone has an answer to both of those questions.
What was your best team? What was your best mistake?
Yeah, what was your best mistake? Or your, like, the mistake you believed in the most?
What was your worst mistake? What was your best mistake?
Yeah, exactly.
My best mistake, Pachirisu Miraidon.
I don't know, Ho-Oh felt like your best mistake.
No, Ho-Oh wasn't a mistake. It was the true way.
No, you can't say... No. This is... I think you're misunderstanding the question, Mac. Like... Pachirisu and Ho-Oh were innovations. I'm talking like, what was the team that you're like, this is gonna be good, and then you were like, oh, I'm like going like 0-4 with this. Like, I'm just...
Oh, then in that case, it was going to Orlando on Easter weekend and playing with Ho-Oh Koraidon Rhydon.
And running it back again. Okay, so hold on. I got some comments I gotta read. Yeah, I could tell it had some potential, but my team was not the right fit for it. I had to fake out Ludicolo on a non-rain Reg G team because I didn't know at the time about Mirror Herb for Egg Move. Oof. Rough. Okay, let's assess this board state. Okay. Jujulio has... It's important to talk about items. They have Floette. They have Citrus Berry Garchomp, so it's going to be pretty bulky. They have a Rotom Wash with a Choice Scarf, so it's going to be most likely the fastest Pokemon on both sides of the field. They have Sneasler with White Herb, which means that if it gets a close combat up, it will double its speed. Or if it gets hit by an Icy Wind, it will double its speed, which is pretty funny. They have Aegislash with Spell Tag, so it's going to hit hard, and they've got Sharp Beak Talonflame, which is going to kind of be a nuke, and it's going to have priority. And I'll explain priority in a second.
Chill, brother.
What?
Like Kangaskhan just did war crimes to a Blastoise.
Oh, okay. And now let's talk about some of the items on Kamikaze's side of the field. They're running Mega Tyranitar and Mega Delphox. They have a Focus Sash Excadrill, so it can always take a singular attack and survive. They have Mega Delphox with Substitute, Citrus Berry Sinestcha, so it'll stay alive for a long time, Leftovers Melodic, so it also will stay alive for a long time, and Haban Berry Hydreigon, so it'll always be able to take a Dragon type attack. Excuse me. Okay. So, because of the Icy Wind, Hydreigon is now outspeeding the Choice Scarf Rotom, and Rotom is locked into Thunderbolt, which means that it's just going to drill for anything. But notably, this Excadrill doesn't really have good ways of hurting this Rotom either. So it's kind of a stalemate. In the end game, I'd rather be the Rotom player, like, because you can probably get your Rotom out pretty safely, and then bring it back in and threaten this Excadrill. Alright, notably, Excadrill does have Iron Head, which is going to probably just remove this Floette from the field entirely, but they have Garchomp in the back, which is going to also threaten a KO back with Earthquake, now that Excadrill's Focus Sash has been removed. With that said, also I love the little animations of the guys getting hit by the Sandstorm. Alright, Rotom moves out because they realize, hey, I don't want to be Choice Scarf locked into Thunderbolt, especially if I'm not the fastest Pokemon. Floette also making a strategic retreat, switching into Sneasler. Alright, let's see what's fired off. Tyranitar Mega Evolves, and this is good to note. Oh, I was going to say, this is good to note because it could indicate that Delphox is not in the back, but we've seen all 4 Pokemon. We know that it is Melodic in the back. Underminer takes a more passive turn this turn, goes for a Protect, and then Rock Slide is going to come out. Garchomp avoids, which is unfortunate, and Sneasler takes about half. The really unfortunate thing, though, is that this turn, this Archaludon, sorry, not this Archaludon, this Sneasler is threatening Fake Out damage into the Excadrill, and since Excadrill is the next Pokemon, sorry, let's take this step by step. Okay, Sneasler is the second fastest Pokemon. Normally, Excadrill would be the fastest because Sandstream is activated. It has Sandstorm up, so it will go twice as fast. But because Excadrill because Fake Out is available on the Sneasler, right? The Sneasler has Fake Out. Yes. It could Fake Out the Garchomp or the Excadrill. Okay, it doesn't matter. That play doesn't matter because they just went for Protect plus Earthquake. And now Excadrill has been removed, which is also most notably your best answer into Floette. Garchomp has its Citrus Berry removed. Also, it didn't look like did Tyranitar take rough skin damage? I didn't see that. Alright. Milotic enters the... Okay, Milotic enters the field. Sneasler is threatening a KO into Tyranitar with close combat. Milotic is threatening Icy Wind to probably KO Garchomp and also lower the speed of Sneasler. If both Pokemon target into Milotic, it will remove it. So basically, Julio is threatening a lot of offensive pressure into Kamikaze or 999's side of the field. Close combat brings it down to 4. Realistically, with the amount of sand terms remaining, that's probably going to be enough to remove Milotic from play. Especially if this Rock Slide connects. The Rock Slide does connect. And despite Kamikaze playing well, it is a 1 against 4, and Tyranitar underspeeds both Pokemon. So Kamikaze forfeits and decides it's time to start thinking about how to handle next round. Floette is a really difficult Pokemon to remove, and Kamikaze does identify that Excadrill is an important piece of this battle, with Ironhead being good to remove a good attack to help remove Floette from the field. The only thing though is that because Garchomp has the ability Rough Skin, if you can switch Garchomp in on that Floette spot, you can remove Focus Sash without even attacking the Excadrill, which will then make it susceptible to being KO'd. So it's a really, really tough situation for Kamikaze Kid to be in. And they're trying to figure out how can I manage this in a way where I can get as much momentum as I can, especially because it seems like overall, with the exception of Mega Delphox, Julio's team is just kind of faster than Kamikaze's team. Also, Rotom Wash is going to outspeed Delphox too, and probably threaten it with a KO if it lands a Hydro Pump. So, Milotic could be an important piece to this, but the thing is, Milotic also, because the other team does not have Intimidate, is really not threatening a ton of offense. And because of that, while it can do Icy Wind to probably do a good chunk of damage to Garchomp, it's kind of just a sitting duck and lets all of its partner Pokemon get KO'd before it actually does anything itself. So we'll have to see how Kamikaze Kid adapts, which would be money 999. So it's going to be a pretty tricky game. Let's see. All right, let's look at the leads. All right. We got the Fairy Tail Girl and the money 999. Okay, Garchomp, Rotom Wash, and Delphox plus Sinestcha. Something to note about this lead is that Kamikaze has identified that, hey, I can redirect moves with my Sinestcha's Rage Powder, but most Scarf Rotoms can just kind of click Volt Switch and get out of danger. So let's see, what moves is this Rotom packing? This Rotom is packing Electroweb, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Hydro Pump. I wouldn't be surprised to see an Electroweb to gain speed control, or for this Rotom to just Volt Switch out. Oh, okay. Kamikaze Kid goes for a Protect. Rotom Wash goes for Hydro Pump, so it's effectively locked on the field. Garchomp goes for Rock Slide, and Sinestcha goes for what move? Matcha Gotcha. Okay, this is going to do big damage to Rotom. Excellent. And a burn into Garchomp would be very good. Burn into Rotom, still good. But because Garchomp is a physical attacker, a burn would cut his attack in half. Alright, Rotom takes some chip from the burn. And realistically, both players are kind of presented with a choice here. Sinestro has the ability to redirect Hydro Pumps away from Delphox and keep it safe. But the thing is like, because both players know that, there's a chance that they don't go for it. And they just say, you know what, I think you're going to switch out. I think that you don't want to waste a turn. Like, let's see what Kamikaze Kid does. Alright, Kamikaze Kid uses Rage Powder. And unless this Garchomp... Okay, the Garchomp does have Rock Slide. That is good to know. Hydro Pump connects into Sinestro. It does about 1/6 of its health, which is not nothing. Alright, Delphox uses Psychic into Garchomp, and it's just shy of picking up. But the special defense does drop, so the next attack will definitely pick up. Alright, Rock Slide misses into who? Into Delphox. That's a huge momentum swing for, because it could do big damage into Pokemon in the back. It could remove a Talonflame's ability to click Tailwind with priority. Like, both Pokemon here probably are in range of getting picked up from Heat Wave because of the special defense drop on the Garchomp. Alright, another Hydro Pump, but this time no redirection, and Delphox takes most of its health, but it doesn't go down. Alright. Delphox goes for Substitute, a very, very ambitious play for Kamikaze, and just like that, it looks like Julio's back in the game. See, turns like that, it makes sense why Kamikaze did what they did. They thought, hey, I am so far ahead right now, I don't have to keep pressing my advantage. Sorry. They said, I'm so far ahead right now, I can press my advantage even further. If I get a Substitute up, then you're just in an even worse spot. Sinestro did get to heal, notably, which is helpful. And the only Pokemon on the other side of the field that can outspeed Delphox is, is Talonflame with Tailwind or Sneasler after close combat. So there is a world where you bring your Sinestro out, you heal up your Delphox, but I think Delphox might have already done its job, and Kamikaze was just trying to leverage a position where it's like, hey, I have Substitute up, I can just win this game from here. Realistically, I think all Kamikaze has to do with this Delphox is launch a Heat Wave, because if the Pokemon in the back are Tyranitar and Excadrill, I think that you have so much momentum that maybe you can just run away with this game. Alright, Fairy Aura is activated. Heat Wave does come out. It connects on both. It would have been enough to pick up on Garchomp, so... was it a misplay to go for a Substitute and lower most of your health? We'll have to wait and see. Also notably, there's a real chance that Sinestro just clicks Trick Room here and lets this Tyranitar come in and do damage that way. Alright, Sinestro heals up. Alright, Machagacha's going to do a good amount of chip. Julio and Kamikaze are really thinking about what the next turn is going to be. Both have to send out a Pokemon. Kamikaze's kind of got a difficult choice on his plate, because if he doesn't know who the next Pokemon is, he's trying to be intentional about who he brings out next. Alright, he brings out Tyranitar. Does Kamikaze's Tyranitar have Protect? Alright. Let's see. It does have Protect. Notably, the Sneasler is going to get one tick on its health bar by just Sandstorm this turn. Also, Sneasler protects, can't use close combat into it. Alright, Dire Claw. And this was also another really ambitious play by Kamikaze to just leave this Tyranitar exposed in front of both a close combat and a Fairy-type move from Floette. They do remove the Sinestro, and now it's going to be a 2v1. It's important to note who this final Pokemon is for Kamikaze, because if it's Hydreigon, it's going to be pretty tricky. Milotic should be able to survive at least a attack, but it is Excadrill, and I think that's the exact Pokemon you want to see if you're Kamikaze, and not the last Pokemon you want to see if you're Julio. Because realistically, because Focus Sash is still intact here, Underminer or Excadrill is never going to have to worry about getting KO'd, and it can always KO Sneasler in return. And that's going to be game for Kamikaze, and it's going to take us to a game 3. Great plays by both players. Honestly, it was a really scary set, and Kamikaze got a really strong lead from the beginning, and Julio did a great job of identifying, like, hey, if I stay in and just keep clicking Hydro Pump, there's a chance that I'm going to be able to get away with this. There's a chance that I'm going to be able to swing at this Delphox and remove it from the board, and guess what? They were sure right. Also notably, because Kamikaze was swings, it makes sense that there were a lot of burns happening on the opponent's side of the field. Also, I hope I'm not yapping too much at all of you. I hope that this is entertaining. If it's information overload or if it's good white noise on your brain, just let me know.
I lean towards the good white noise on the brain vibes.
Okay, good, glad to know.
Yeah, gotcha.
Oh, glad that I'm I have the ability to just kind of turn people's brains off with talking. Oh, I was like waiting for the round to start. I gotta click that button. Yapping is good, IMO. Okay, good, glad to hear. Okay, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't overwhelming people. All right, okay. So Kamikaze says, you know what? I like these leads. I'm sticking with these leads. I believe there's been an adjustment on Julio's side of the field. Instead of having Rotom as the lead, they've decided to have Rotom in the back. And the nice thing with that is that you don't have to make your selection of what choice move your Rotom's using immediately. You can use Volt Switch always to like pivot out and make that choice again later, but Volt Switch is generally a low damage move, and it's good for breaking Focus Sashes. But in this case scenario, with Excadrill, it's like you're not breaking a Focus Sash. That thing's immune to electric moves. Alright.
Oh, I forgot how my Lodic worked.
Yeah, Melodic strong. Also,
I just party shot on my Lodic with my brain working.
oh, that's rough.
It is now +6 because I let it Incineroar. It's fine, guys. I promise.
I'm sorry. Alright, so Mega Delphox comes onto the stage. Mega Delphox is a Pokemon that is the fastest Pokemon on the field right now. Because Garchomp has Rock Slide, it's threatening good damage into it that way. And Delphox is threatening, it's threatening alright damage. I am proud of you, Nebula. Okay, a good chunk of damage into Garchomp. Matcha Gotcha into it might be enough to pick it up off it after this. Alright, Rock Slide. That Delphox feels pretty bulky, where that Garchomp feels like it's not fully attack invested. Light of Ruin, I think we're saying bye-bye to Sinestro early. We are, which is really scary because if you think about it, Sinestro was kind of Kamikaze's best answer into Rotom Wash, and with that removed, it's going to be pretty tricky in the later game for Kamikaze to have a good answer to that. If Kamikaze did not careful kitty. If Kamikaze did not bring Hydreigon, then he's going to have a really hard time removing that Rotom Wash. Alright. Delphox is on the field. It realistically is probably threatening a KO into either Pokemon, but the thing is like, this Floette's threatening heavy damage into both. Yes! Yeah, Nebula, you're a great player. That round I watched of yours, just because you didn't win it doesn't mean you're not a great player. I go 0-5 all the time. Well, not 0-5, but like, sometimes it does happen. I'm not going to sit here and say that's never happened before. Great players take risks, and they learn and they grow from them. So if you lost a game, you actually learn more from a loss than a win. So who really came out on top in this tournament? Alright, Protect on Garchomp. Let's see. Protect on the General. Psychic into most likely Garchomp, and if this is Dazzling Gleam, it might just put Delphox over the edge. Light of Ruin, that's gonna put it over the edge. Bye-bye, Delphox, right? Yep, bye-bye, Delphox. Are we trading Mega Pokemon here? Alright, how much damage? Not enough. It's close, though. Kamikaze's in a really rough spot because this Floette has removed 2 Pokemon. And we see the last Pokemon on Kamikaze's side of the field is the Underminer. So realistically, Kamikaze, let me check real quick. Does this slide? This one has Rock Slide, and it seems like it might be time to check in for Rock Slide flinchies. Okay, I lost to my Gambit flinching to Rock Slide literally every turn. I didn't click Sucker Punch this round. What am I supposed to learn from that? Okay, what you're supposed to learn from that, Izzy, is don't flinch.
Yeah,
one of the
sure.
sets I lost in the players, or not the Players Cup, the Scraw tournament was similar. I was fighting Choice Scarf Garchomp, and he flinched me every single turn, or for like 3 turns. Let's see. Also, another thing is maybe wide guard, maybe priority. Also, Izzy, I know you're a great player, so I don't really know if I have good advice to give you on that one. All right. It looks like Kamikaze might have just accepted that it's time to go down. All right, Rock Slide misses. Oh no! I'm trying to think of, because I'm almost certain Rotom Wash is about to come in, or Sneasler. Either one would be pretty bad. Yep. Rotom Wash has entered the chat. Alright, again, I think that Kamikaze's really, his only answer here is he's got to fish for Rock Slide flinches. I'm very new to, okay, hold on, there's a lot of things happening. How about 4 flinches in a row and a double flinch? It had to be rough sometimes. Yeah, I guess you have to put Wide Guard on there if you're getting that many. Hit 2 Fluettes so far. Pride Month came 2 months early. Oh my god. I'm very new to VGC and I have no idea how to analyze my plays or even save replays to review. I'm kind of button mashing at this point. Do you know of any creators that have good content to help me figure out how to learn from my losses most effectively? Maytag has entered the field. You can watch this set, you can watch my stream because I literally will play Nebula and I talk about what you do. So you could do that. I'm also going to, that's what I'm going to try and do more of on this channel, is just like talking through people's plays and how to improve. So, recording your games, playing on Showdown so you can save your replays and watching them back, those are things that would be really helpful. Alright, Kamikaze did play for the Rock Slide flinch, he did not get it, and I think that's, he might have gotten it on the other Pokemon, let's see. Garchomp did flinch. Is it enough? Does Rock Slide pick up? Rock Slide does not pick up, it lives on 1 HP! No! Alright, let's see who the final Pokemon was. It's most likely Sneasler, but let's see if Kamikaze had a chance. It is Sneasler, okay. He played to his outs, he played well. I think he had to click Rock Slide a turn earlier, but c'est la vie. Also, other good creators to watch about replays or reviews. I'm trying to think. Who would you say is a good creator to watch for replays and reviews? I feel like most Pokemon creators talk about it. Wait, oh, they went for Flinch Dragonclaw. Okay, I thought that they like.
Videos usually do a good job. Phil will usually sit at the end and like actually talk about some of the games he played.
Who does? Sorry.
Aaron.
Oh, Aaron Zhang. Yeah, Aaron Zhang is great. Aaron Zhang, James Beck. I'll put them. If you're in the Discord, I'll drop some of their channels in there after this. I'm gonna put that right there. I got hit by an ad when you were reading my comment, so I will have to rewatch the part when the bot drops. Thank you for reading my chat, and I'm assuming you're responding to it. I did respond. I said Aaron Zhang and Cybertron, but I also watched your set in here, so you can listen to me talking about it in real time. Or well, I guess it's real time, but yeah. All right, let's see. Is anyone else still going? We do have a few. Let's check out Toasty YHG. Looks like they're in game 2, possibly. All right, let's see. They played it very well, Kamikaze and his opponent, Jujulio. All right, we're joining Benjins. All right. GG's. Is it over? If a tournament match will be on stream, will we know when a round starts? Do we queue up? I can, if you want me to, Banestar, I can just jump in and give you commentary. That was only round 2, so we have 5 rounds total. So we have 3 more rounds after this. Let's see.
Do they know? My favorite game with playing Kangaskhan now has been Do They Know, which is where I just fake out the ghost type and see if they know.
That is a
update.
That is a check.
They didn't know.
It is fun playing with so many people. this has been a great like gateway for people because like there are so many new players that like everyone's learning that stuff at the same time, and the people that have been playing it like they get to go like, here's your skill check, here's your opportunity to learn. Okay.
Profession so hard, holy cow.
I've been watching Wolfie for a few years, and I have watched Aaron as well. I saw his video where he analyzed another streamer's matches. I need to go back and rewatch that and actually apply the concepts. Thank you for your recommendation. Yeah, of course. Also, in the Discord, shoot messages in there. People are always responding to stuff. Like, we can get you hooked up with stuff like Passers, which is like a Google spreadsheet that will record your matches on Pokemon Showdown, not in Champions, so it is a bit different. But it will actually show you what you're losing to most often, like what moves you're clicking the most often. Like sometimes you'll find like on your team you're never clicking, I don't know, Matcha Gotcha. That's a bad example because that's probably Sinesh's best move. But anyway, if you're never clicking that move, you can be like, oh, I clicked that move one time in my 50 games of playing the team. Maybe a better move would be better for this team because I'm always losing to Incineroar. Maybe if I had a better move into Incineroar, that would be helpful. You know, like stuff like that. So, and I can talk about how to do that too. Oh, I was just asking if the round starts, if we are okay to just queue up right away. Oh yeah, when the next round starts, you can queue up immediately. But the next round won't start until all the other matches are finished. And you can tell by, let me switch over. You can tell by when you go to Limitless, if the screen has like all of these boxes greened out. Also up at the top over here, it says 15 out of 19 matches completed. You can also hide them. So like I can go in and I can check in on these two and see like, well, I only I can do this. I'm doing this because I'm gonna probably pop in and see if we can watch another match.
Privilege.
Also, I swear Toasty said they were done. Yeah, they were. Okay, we're gonna pop in and we're gonna see if we can watch the rest of Lazy Warlock's match. Also in the Discord, if you go to the Flares channel and click the boxing glove, I will make an announcement whenever a round goes live. So if you're like, you want to go to the bathroom, you want to make a snack or something, you can check Discord on your phone and be like, oh, my round's up. So that's helpful for people too. And if you're like, oh, I'm getting annoyed by notifications, just click the boxing glove again and it'll turn it off. I ran Ski-Wave on Pult, my initial build for my Scraw Tour team, and never clicked it once and swapped it to Will-O-Wisp. It is way better. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Pokemon teams are not, I made it, it's done, it's perfect. Usually, sometimes that's not true, but usually there's room for improvement. And with meta shifts, there's usually room to improve on that too. Like, Pokemon's a fluid game. Like, I've brought the same team to 2 different tournaments and had completely different results both times. Like, the meta will shift around your team. And also, sometimes you just get lucky. Like, if you could, this is a weird thing to say. Also, thanks for the follow, Art Lastic. It seems like people are really enjoying the stream where I'm giving information instead of being like, how do I get out of this situation? How do I get out of this situation? So maybe we'll do more of these. But anyway, no. Okay. I will start commentating on this in just a second, but I wanted to say this before I finish. If you play the same tournament 100 times, your results are going to be different every single time. Pokemon's a game with high variance. You play to maximize your luck and your variance. Good teams will probably do good every time, but you are not guaranteed even if you are a good player. I only stopped by briefly, but I love your shirt. Thank you. It is green, but it's green screened currently, so thanks for the compliment, Aiden. Hopefully your chatting's going well. Let's see. Okay, let's do a quick assessment of what's going on here. All right. So Sneasler, okay, the board state is Sneasler Corviknight versus Garchomp and Basculegion. And it looks like Mega Aerodactyl has already been removed and Rotom's already been on the field. So there's one Pokemon that Mark has that he has not revealed to Lele. All right. Basculegion goes for a Brave Bird and it does about half of Basculegion's health. And Leftovers goes off, so that is the end of the turn. Okay, Sneasler is at low health. If this Basculegion has Aqua Jet, it's likely susceptible to being picked off to it. But because Rotom Wash is a Pokemon that Lele knows is in the back, it's almost like there's like a mind game of like, are they going to switch into it? Because if that's the case, then I'm getting almost no value out of my Basculegion this turn. And we just saw Brave Bird will pick up next turn. Alright, Basket Legion chooses to retreat. King Gambit comes in. This is a pretty safe switch because, I was about to say, don't make me eat my words here. Most people aren't going to close combat a go. Roughskin's going to put that Basket Legion down even lower. It is definitely in Sucker Punch range, which is nice because now King Gambit's no longer threatened by close combat. But doesn't matter because Sneasler's been removed. Sometimes it's better to leave a Pokemon on the board that you can threaten a KO with than it is to just remove them. Alright, Corviknight roosts, and this is going to start becoming a real problem. Also, Genesis, sorry I've been yapping. Yo, it's nice to see you. Also, Cherry Ballad, yeah, I get how it goes. Sometimes you do pair into 2 Floettes on your Poison Mega team. That's probably a good thing. Alright, okay, so this Corviknight's getting harder and harder to remove. Basket Legion's kind of the only Pokemon that really is going to do solid damage into it. I guess King Gambit can hit it for some good damage as well. Boy Genius is such a funny name for this King Gambit. Yap away? I'm yapping. Alright, I'm assuming Master Mark has a Scarf Rotom because that seems to be the most popular set. It is. It can click Thunder Wave for good damage into King Gambit or High Chomp. If it locks into an electric move. Okay. Oh, a critical hit too. Yikes. I was gonna say, if it locks into an electric move, Garchomp will always win. So that can be a win condition for Lele, is if they preserve their Garchomp, they can make it so that they never get to use a good electric move on this Basket Legion. Corviknight goes for Tailwind. That's gonna change the speed order quite drastically. Alright. Kowtow Cleave into into Tyranitar. It's a resistant hit, it's gonna do almost nothing. And because Garchomp protected, it's a pretty scary turn for Lele. Like, Tailwind is up, so Garchomp's probably going to be threatened with a Brave Bird. And Boy Genius, if this Tyranitar has low kick, it will probably just go down. Tyranitar only has Rock Slide, Knockoff, and Ice Punch. So, I was going to say, offensively, it's not super threatened. Alright, Rotom returns. Tailwind is still up. Garchomp goes for a double protect and gets it. It makes sense. Brave Bird is the most logical play there, and sometimes you do have to play to having good luck. Low kick into Rotom's gonna do close to nothing. Master Mark is going crazy with the switches, calling every single read right. Alright, and we saw Basket Legions at half health, so unless Garchomp can get a third protect, it looks like Garchomp is pretty heavily threatened this turn. And the thing, too, is, like, I was gonna say, this King Gambit's gonna just take damage for its troubles. Garchomp accepts... Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius. Garchomp accepts that it's just gonna have to go down this turn and says, maybe I'll be able to swing. Rough Skin into Corviknight. Let's see, where did this King Gambit swing? Low kick again. Expects the Tyranitar to come in this time, gets it wrong. Alright. Lazy Warlock is playing really well. They're making informed decisions. They're like, okay, I don't know what the move this Rotom's gonna lock into, but I have to make a call. The only thing is they made the call incorrect. Tailwind is up, so this Rotom is definitely outspeeding this Basket Legion, and realistically, Thunderwave is gonna pick up, or not Thunderwave, Thunderbolt is gonna pick up this Basket Legion, and then Corviknight, Rotom, and Tyranitar will be able to work together to remove this King Gambit. Alright, oh, okay, I thought this was a, Scarf Basket Legion. It is not. They go for Protect. Thunderbolt into Gambit. Is it enough to pick up? It is. Now Basket Legion has to do a 1v3. Brave Bird comes out. The Scarf Rotom outspeeds. Realistically, this Basket Legion can click Aqua Jet into Rotom and potentially pick it up. It's still going to be hard. But the thing is like, then you don't remove the Corviknight. And if you don't remove the Corviknight Brave Birds you and the game is over. They make, again, like, just because this player lost the game doesn't make them a bad player. It's really difficult to win in those situations, and they played it well. I think that their play at a certain point had to become going for a triple protect, and that's so unlikely that it's not expected. So, good plays by Master Mark and by Lele, or Lazy Warlock, because they played it really, really well, and I have nothing but respect for both players. Low-key, I don't think switching in Rotom is even really a read so much as really good mid-ground play. Yeah, they didn't have to make a bunch of reads, they just had to play it straight. Mark is God, Mark isn't God. Called like 3 turns in a row. Well, the thing is like, it's basically, it's like, Mark was not, okay, I'm trying to think how to say this. When you're in a advantageous position, it's easier to make reads, because like, Rotom wasn't even threatened with going down to Kowtow Cleave at that range, so it was like, every single read they made was just pushing them further ahead. They weren't falling behind at any point, if that makes sense. So like, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you Master Mark didn't do a good job, because they did. They played that really well. But it was also one of those things where it's like, they were making plays that were like safe, and we're just inching them closer and closer to victory. Also, I'm looking over here because I'm starting the next round. Oh, we're gonna end this round, and we're gonna pair the next round. All right, I get it. Also, I don't want to discredit them. They did play that really well, and it was like they didn't give Lazy Warlock an inch. And I've played Lazy Warlock. Lazy Warlock's beat me. They're a great player. That's how this game goes. Sometimes you just have a board state, and you're like, I'm not surrendering any momentum. And if we talk about, like, you've been watching, there was a play when Kamikaze had the advantage. And he could have played it straight, or he could have taken more risks. And there was a play where he took more risks. Basically, it was a win more risk with Kamikaze versus a mid-ground play with Master Mark. Kamikaze was like, if I take this risk now and it pays off, I will win right away. Whereas with Master Mark, he's like, I think I'm going to take these risks, and each one's going to put me closer if I get it right. So both are skill, but one, I don't want to compare them and say one's more skill or one's less skill. One is less risky. Mid-ground plays are a show of skill. Agreed. Good way to put that out there. Gambit is never clicking a dark move into T-Tart, and if they try and read the Rotom, it still isn't the big... Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Cherry Ballad. Floette number 3, baby. We're farming those Floettes. Let's see. Got a Perish Mirror. Might be a while. Okay, we'll come to you last, then, because we know you'll still be there. Alright, we're gonna pop in on... Let's see. Where is Banestar still here? Banestar won a game. Let's go, Banestar. We're gonna pop in on this. All right, chat paused. Sorry, chat. Let's get back to you. we'll pop over to you when actually Perish Mirror might go fast. You know, you're both locked in. You're both perishing everyone. I just don't have the trust in myself on this team, and that just comes with time too. Lazy, like, you're a great player. Like, when I was spectating, I was talking about it, because, like, some of the people here are newer, and they were saying, like, other things earlier, but, I was trying to say, like, losing doesn't make you bad, and you've beaten me before, so you're clearly a good player, so, but yeah, you'll get, also, that's like me saying, like, I'm the benchmark for good player. I'm the benchmark for, you know what? No, I'll give myself an ego. I'm good. I didn't say I was great. I'm good. You'll get there, Lazy. Or you'll get to a different team. Okay, so let's look at this. Izzy is running Mega Delphox plus Rotom-Mo, Primarina, King Gambit, and Garchomp. And Banestar is running Scizor, Garchomp, Aerodactyl with a Sash, Floette, Sinestcha, and Incineroar. Alright, Floette Incineroar is the lead. Alright, and Primarina plus Sneasler. Hey, can I get a legit Pokemon for my game caught in a traded bottled Master Ball at VGC event and not get disqualified? Can I get a Pokemon for my game caught in a traded bottle Master? I don't understand the... Could you write your question one more time, City Guy Nice? I want to make sure that I'm understanding what you're saying. Losing is great because it's...
Ball you're traded to, it shouldn't be an issue. It's a matter of, like, as long as that ball is, like, legal based off where it's caught, I suppose.
Yeah, if the Pokemon is legal, yes, Master Ball Pokemon can be legal. It's just a question of if you believe it's been genned or created, or if it's real. And Dan says it right. You know, losing is great because it's the easiest way to learn.
Awesome.
You learn more from your losses than your wins, baby.
I hate Blastoise, man.
Blastoise is hard. All right, so we see a Fake Out from Sneasler and a Protect from Floette. Alright, so something to note about this turn is that since Floette protected, it was safe from the Sneasler, but Incineroar took a lot of damage, and like that was just a pure momentum play for Izzy. I think in that instance, like if you're really that worried about your Floette, you might just have to pivot it because you really got zero momentum that turn. There's a chance that Astral or Banestar was thinking like, hey, maybe I can parting shot out my Incineroar, and they just called the fake out. But right now it's hard. It's a really difficult situation because this Sneasler is probably threatening KO or close to a KO with Dire Claw, and then Primarina is likely to pick up with the remainder of the with the Hyper Voice. One thing I didn't notice, which is important to notice, is we can actually see which Pokemon is faster, either Primarina or Incineroar, based on when Incineroar flinched, unless Incineroar went for Fake Out. And if that's the case, then we won't know. Okay, so there is the switch in for Sinestcha. This is gonna heal up Incineroar. If this Sneasler goes for close combat, it'll likely be enough to pick up. Dire Claw does a solid amount of damage and puts him to sleep. That's such a rough turn for Astral. Like I say a good middle ground play, like trying to keep their Pokemon on the board alive and like supporting them. But getting put to sleep is really rough because now Floette's just kind of trapped on the field. And since Sinestcha wasn't able to attack, now it's just kind of sitting there, and it's like, oh, you know what? I'm guaranteed to sleep this turn. Also, something else to note is that because this Floette did not Mega earlier, it actually might have been a bad play unless they're saving Mega for something else. Because if you Mega earlier, you get a better I'm assuming Floette gets a buff to his special defense. So if that were the case, coming in on this Hyper Voice would probably make it take less damage overall. Sure, I can use a legit Pokemon like Lugia from Ultra Moon in a bot-traded Master Ball at a VGC event without getting disqualified. You sure I want to compete with it? If it is a bot traded it, like a bot made it, it's not legal. If it is, you got a, I'm trying to think how to do this. If you've got, okay, if a bot traded it, it's not legal.
If a bot gave you a Master Ball and you caught it in your actual game, then as long as you can actually get a Master Ball in that game, then it's legal.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, the Master Ball would not, if the Master Ball was, a Master Ball cannot be illegal. The Pokemon can be illegal.
It can be illegal if you can't get it in that game, like, if it's like from Legends Arceus and a Master Ball.
Good point. Okay, that should answer your question, City Guy Nice. Also, using Lugia is, unless you have a really, really, really strong team, Lugia is a really difficult Pokemon to use. So I wish you luck because
if they like Lugia, they could make it work somehow. Probably he's got good specialty.
Yeah, I'm just saying he's really hard in a Miraidon-centric format. I guess he could do Terra Ground. I'm not thinking of type matchups like that anymore though now. Alright, so Floette gets in, Sneasler's at -2, possibly -3, Fake Out on the board, Fake Out connects, Sneasler flinches, Light of Ruin, they say, I don't want you around anymore, Sneasler, go away. The -3 Sneasler gets obliterated off of the face of the planet.
Do you think they didn't Mega their Floette earlier because they had another potential?
I think that not Megaing Floette earlier is either they had another Mega in the back or they ran out of time. Those are the two options. Okay, so I should have no issues then? Nice. Yeah, but probably not. I wouldn't expect you to.
The only issue would be how well Lugia can play in that format.
Yeah, Austin said it best. The only issue is if Lugia is going to come across as strong on your team. Okay, so now we see double spread move available for Primarina and Delphox. Like a Hyper Voice will pick up Incineroar here, and not Mega before not giving boost to Moonblast. I didn't want to oh, sorry, Banestar. I'm not to Brent Primarina from. Oh, that's a good play. I like that choice too. Also, if I'm interrupting or ruining your flow, Banestar, you can mute me or you can leave the stream, or I can that's okay too. These things I'm talking about are not like, oh, Banestar's making bad choices, and I don't even think you are. I'm just talking about what could possibly go through people's heads, both from your opponent's perspective and from an outside perspective, because you can't see outside of yourself. Rain Team should be sick. Alright. Delphox used Protect. Alright, this play is interesting. I guess they're scouting. Is this a Scarf Garchomp? Because if it's a Scarf Garchomp, this would make sense, because that would make sense. That basically they're making informed plays based on what move Garchomp uses from here. Because if Garchomp locked into something like Earthquake, Delphox has no real reason to switch out. So they have now scouted the move. I believe it was Rock Slide. I did not see because I was looking at the text. With Fairy, with Fairy Oreo. Not Mega before because not giving boost to Moonblast. Yeah, that makes complete sense. That's real. But then there's also the downside of coming in on special attacks later. So there's pros and cons to both of them. Rain Team should be sick. Very cool. Love Rain. Didn't want to... Yeah, I'm reading the same comment twice now. Okay, let's focus on the game and not on the comments, right? Okay, Sinestre's asleep. Banestar's played this really well, but it's hard. They're, like, trying to get momentum back. Alright, because they did not want to take a Rock Slide, they switch out to King Gambit, a Pokemon that's going to resist that move. Roar comes out, which is going to heal this Garchomp. Garchomp, if they went for a Protect, might be able to take... Oh, sorry, they're a Scarf, right? Okay. Flinches anybody? Flinches? Moonblast.
Any flinchies in the chat?
Flinchies? Alright, Moonblast is going to pick up. And then Incineroar is going to give this attack boost to Garchomp. Or sorry, to King Gambit. And it's looking pretty difficult for Banestar here. Banestar's played it well. Izzy is a fantastic player. Izzy actually notably was on Team Michigan for the United States Pokemon Association and went undefeated against every other state. Was a hard carry for our team last year. So Banestar, don't worry. If this is one of the best people to practice into because they are a fantastic player. And yes, you might get a game loss or a set loss, but like the value in learning what it's like being like, oh, my team has a hole here, or oh, this is what it looks like when they have me countered in this way. Like that's just gonna make you better and better too. Alright, we're gonna have to see how Banestar adapts. I think that they played that one really well.
Oh, Scissor, I don't think you lived this, my friend.
Also, in a world where Garchomp got some flinches and Sinestra didn't get sleeps, it probably could have been a completely different game too. Also, notably, it's kind of difficult because I'm trying to think how to say this. The Garchomp having Scarf is nice because it means that you get to get a hit on Delphox. But then you're also limited in the sense like King Gambit will always be able to Sucker Punch you. And since you don't have a way... I guess Sinestro can help with that too. We are no longer Chili's gaming. I'm glad that you got to get some Chili's gaming in. Alright, let's see. Let's see what the adaptations are. Scissor could also be another interesting bring in this game. It struggles a lot into Delphox, but it does well into Primarina, or well-ish, and then it does decent into all the other ones. I don't know, actually. Rotom resists it, King Gambit, Sneasler. Being able to pick off Sneasler at low health would be nice with the priority moves. With that said, Aerodactyl for Tailwind could also be nice. It's pretty tricky. They're like, when you get to a higher level, or when you're playing in tournaments with people that are really comfortable with the game, it gets really difficult to be like, what am I going to bring? Because both players have loaded their teams with good options into each other. So we'll see if we will see if Banestar can find an avenue in order to come back and win game 2. I do love the little titles like Fairy Tale Girl. Those are cool. Alright, Scissor and Incineroar. Primarina and Sneasler. The frustrating thing here for Astral is that because they have a Sneasler, they're always going to have faster Fake Out. So they can either choose to Fake Out into Incineroar and shut Fake Out down entirely. I don't know why I can't talk. Or they could just Fake Out the Scissor and always ensure that Scissor gets faked out. Basically, Incineroar does have Fake Out, but like the value of Fake Out goes down when you don't have control and your opponent does. Alright, so Delphox enters. Do we see... Okay, Scissor Megas. Also notably, the move that's gonna is Heat Wave, but Heat Wave does miss. Fake Out goes out into Scissor. Don't want to have any chance of it getting boosted up. Incineroar comes out with another Fake Out into Delphox. Notably, not much damage is traded, but the board position gets a lot better for Izzy here. And now another mind game happens where it's like, alright, they're probably going to close combat into Incineroar and launch a Heat Wave, but is there a counter? Is there a way around that? Is there a way that I can get momentum back? Like, hypothetically, you could switch in Garchomp here, and then Garchomp's going to outspeed. Sneasler's going to take Chip on the Incineroar spot, and then also you'll have the option to switch out Incineroar later for another Intimidate. Like, those are options you can make. Also, you could just swing with Scissor and be like, you know what, there's a chance they miss. Or, you know, like, you just let Scissor go down, and you're like, alright, that way I'll get a Pokemon in that I actually want here. Alright, so Aerodactyl comes in. Aerodactyl notably is a Pokemon that does outspeed Sneasler and can threaten a KO into it, but it does not outspeed Delphox, which is pretty scary. And if Delphox connects a Heat Wave, that will be scary because then it'll mean Aerodactyl loses its Focus Sash, which means it could probably potentially be picked off by a follow-up. And you know what does pick up after that? Anything. So right now, because Close Combat came out, Heat Wave is gonna miss, right? Heat Wave does not miss. Aerodactyl goes down. But Incineroar returns, and Fake Out is back on the board for Incineroar. Also, I believe White Herb already went off earlier on Sneasler, which means that Sneasler is going to now be at -1, which means Incineroar is unlikely to be able to be picked off now. There's kind of another weird mind game at play here where it's like, we've seen that Sneasler's had its attack and its defense is dropped by 1 now. It's like there's a world where Scissor lets a Bullet Punch out into Sneasler and says, you know what, maybe this picks up. I don't think it will pick up, but I think it'll be close. It'll probably bring it really low. And then because Sneasler's at -1, Delphox is probably not going to be able to pick up Incineroar and Scissor this turn. It's probably just going to pick up Scissor. And then a Throat Chop into Delphox will probably be enough to pick up. Alright, Garchomp comes out, and it's pretty free for Delphox to either click Protect or launch out a big move. Okay. Does Scissor go for a Swords Dance here? Excellent play by Banestar. Says, you know what? Maybe I can get back in the game by bulking up right now. Alright, and the question here is like...
That's so illegal, bro.
The question here is like, what does Izzy do now? Because like it's pretty obvious that Scissor wants to click Protect here. So you could just pivot in your Sneasler and say, you know what, I only have to get Delphox in on the end game. I don't have to have it in right now. Because your Scissor is kind of your big win con. Alright, Bullet Punch comes out into Delphox. It does about half. It's not enough to pick up. Delphox does stay in. Garchomp goes for Earthquake. It's going to do decent damage into all Pokemon outside of Delphox, but not enough to pick up. Heat Wave might come out from Delphox. Citrus Berry activates on Incineroar. Heat Wave does come out. He calls it. It KOs the Scissor, and now it is a 2 versus 3. Sorry, a 4 versus 3. What am I talking about? Alright. Thanks for the follow, Skipsa. We're talking... Okay. Flare Blitz is to cover. They really anticipated that a Sneasler might come in here. I think that has to be... Or a Primarina. Actually, that was an interesting play. I don't know the Flare Blitz. Because I think if you do Bullet Punch plus Throat Chop, you probably pick up anything that comes in that spot. And I think Throat Chop alone would probably be enough to just pick up the Delphox. Banestar, you played that one really well. It was a really difficult matchup. And I'm sure that by playing that set, you probably learned, like, what feels strong on your team, what feels not as strong, what's hard, what's good. Getting wins and getting losses, it's always tricky, but you, like, again, you played it well. I just expected Bullet Punch +2 would do more. Yeah, but I mean, hey, now you know. Like, that's information in your bank that's just gonna help you in future games. Instant didn't have a dark move. Oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Okay. Thanks for the heads up, Izzy. According to the team sheet. No, that makes a lot more sense. Alright, let's check out. Also, I see Spins followed, so maybe we'll check out Spins' game. Okay, yeah. Also, that could be something that's like, maybe it's worth considering that for the future, because it's like, if Delphox's Scissors bad matchup, you probably want to have a way to remove Delphox. Like, or other ways. Or maybe it's like, oh, the most common fire types are... Well, I guess you have Aerodactyl for Charizard. It's like, maybe you do King Gambit as well, because then it's like, oh, I have Sucker Punch to threaten you. You know, like, there are a few different things you could think of there. I don't know. I'm just spitballing. Alright. You know what? Okay. Mega Hawlucha versus Dragonite. Or Mega Dragonite. This is cool. Mega Hawlucha's already gone down, though. Alright. Spins 1 game 1. And Ian is the Mega Dragonite player. Okay. I'm getting familiar with what's going on. Let's check some of these moves. For some of these team sheets. Alright, Hawlucha King Gambit. It's Chople Berry King Gambit with Guillotine. Okay, so they're using the Oko strategy. Like I will give my King Gambit the no guard ability, and then it will KO everything. Alright, Raichu has Fake Out, Nuzzle, Thunder, and Encore. Pelipper has Tailwind, Wide Guard, Weather Ball, and Hurricane. Sylveon's Fairy Feather, Hyper Voice, Hyper Beam, Protect, and Mystical Fire. Sinestcha is Matcha Gotcha, Trick Room, Life Dew, and Rage Powder. And then Kimmy has Multi-Scale Dragonite with Thunder, Hurricane, Draco Meteor. Choice Scarf, Basculegion, so it's going to be the fastest Pokemon on the field. And a Scissor with Setup and Bug Bite and Bullet Punch. Foul Play, Encore, Will-O-Wisp, Rain Dance, Sableye. Pelipper with Weather Ball, Hurricane, Tailwind to Protect, and a Focus Sash, and a White Herb Sneasler. A very traditional looking Sneasler. Cool. Alright, we have the idea of what's going on here. Alright. Basculegion is the fastest Pokemon. It's only had one Pokemon removed. It's starting a KO, probably into Sylveon, unlikely into Raichu. We can check battle info. Dragonite has max stats right now. Raichus are normally run fast and kind of bulky, so I don't anticipate that they can pick it up without a double up. And I'm assuming it's probably Sash as well, right? Let's see. It was, yeah, it's Sash, so they have to double up for sure. Alright, we see Protects. We see a Wave Crash. The Wave Crash is not going to connect into the Sylveon, which is going to let the Raichu Thunder, but because Thunder's not in the rain right now, it's going to miss. Both teams are running a rain variant of a team, but it looks like both players are like, you're going to bring rain. I'm not going to bring rain. You're going to set it up for me. No, I just picked the wrong for game 1 and picked the wrong lead game 2. That's fair. It's hard, Banestar. But, like, it looks like you already won a set, right? Like, you played against somebody and you won. Like, that's crazy to say that, like, your first ever tournament game, you walked away with a win. Like, congratulations. Alright, Wave Crash removes Sylveon, which was the Pokemon really threatening Dragonite, and it seems like Ian's identified that Dragonite is, like, the Pokemon I want to use to carry this game. Thunder comes out. It's probably going to be enough to pick up Basculegion. Bye-bye, Bask. You've done your job. And now it's going to be a 2 versus 2. And it's Raichu. Thank you. Of course. Alright, Raichu takes a Draco Meteor, and it brings it down to Sash. Now the question is who are the final 2 Pokemon? Because a Pokemon with priority would probably be pretty strong. Like Bullet Punch. Okay, we see a forfeit, but Spins lost. Okay. Spins says, you know what? I don't want to reveal what my 4th Pokemon is. And sometimes in a tournament, that could be the best play. Because then you're like, I know I can't win. Like, I guaranteed never win with this Pokemon. And if I don't show it, then hey, maybe I can go and, like, in the future, bring it in a different way. Or I can, I don't indicate to my opponent what I think is strong here. Also, let's see what Burgundy Ronald said. Quick Pokemon tip for you because I know you're new to the franchise. Always make the right plays and never make the wrong plays. That's, you know, no one ever taught me that. That's why. Thanks, Burgundy Ronald. You got me. Keep your HP above 0. Land your moves. Flinch your opponents. Trick your rooms. Matcha your gotchas. Those are the things you need to know. Some people make the wrong plays, and they don't realize that they could be so much better if they made the right plays. Yeah, true. Keep your parish count above 0 too. Ugh. This is the good advice. Okay. I kind of want to see like the Hawlucha mode. Well, like, is it just King Gambit that can get it going? Let's look at their team real quick. I want to see if there's anyone else that Hawlucha wants to pass that entrainment over to. Also, because they have Sneasler, it's unlikely they're going to be able to get it very likely. But at the same time, though, Hawlucha got that dual wing beat on him, so he could just remove the Sneasler. Is Hawlucha faster than Sneasler when it megas? No.
It's 118. It's lower than Jolly.
Yeah, it's slower. It's rough out here for Hawlucha.
Because bad design.
That is rough.
It may be slightly faster.
I mean, I guess I'm glad that the Pokemon that can one-shot set up Oko moves isn't completely busted. Alright, we see Raichu Hawlucha. Plus Dragonite Sneasler. Notably, because Hawlucha does have dual wing final tip. I'll read that in a second. Because Hawlucha does have dual wing beat, that is a move that can potentially hit multi-scale and then hit again through multi-scale. It's probably not going to be able to pick up a Dragonite, but it's not going to be completely mitigated by that multi-scale ability. Hawlucha doesn't get any speed upon Mega Evolution. That's crucial, or that's criminal. Alright, final tip. If you find yourself about to make a bad play, just stop and make the right play instead. Burgundy Ronald...
Oh, we got a lot of good tips here.
Why am I even talking when Burgundy Ronald could just teach you everything? He's got all the tips. Alright, Hawlucha Megas. Sick design. Love the shiny. Alright, Sneasler does have the fastest fake out on the field. Dragonite just goes for a Protect. Let's see what happens here. Fake out, launches into Dragonite. They say, let's just break that multi-scale right open. Fake out comes out, and Hawlucha takes more than you'd think he would. Like, if he didn't gain any speed, why does it feel like he didn't also gain any bulk? I am sure he did, because I know Hawlucha used to be paper, but I need to look at this. How much better does he get? He gets 25 defense, so he should be decently physically bulky, but I don't know. I don't know, Hawlucha. You really let me down here, guy. Like, I wish... Like, he's so cool. I wish that he seems like a Pokemon that can work, but you have to work so hard to make him good. Okay, I'm talking a lot about design and not a lot about gameplay here. Okay, Hawlucha's taking a little bit of chip, but it's not so much chip that's likely to matter in this battle. It can, but it's not, like, the most crazy amount. Alright, so Basculegion comes in, and Sneasler protects. Honestly, could be a crazy turn. Dual Wing Beat, trying to just remove the Sneasler. What do we see this... And we see Encore. Oh, a great Protect or a great Switch. Like, both, like, completely different board state just on a Switch. Like, did not make an offensive move, but look at how different this board state is. This Dragonite gets to come in later and just be like this big, bulky juggernaut that just gets to do whatever it wants. All I've ever seen Hawlucha do is entertainment and Okomon. Hawlucha does look awesome, and you rarely get to see it. Yeah, it is a sick Pokemon. Notably, this Sneasler outspeeding makes things really tricky. I need to check real quick. Is this a Swift Swim Bask? It's Choice Scarf Adaptability, so it is the fastest Pokemon. And its Wave Crash is going to hit hard. Hawlucha protects. Was Hawlucha the correct Pokemon to protect, or did they flip turn on the Raichu? They flip turn on the Raichu, bringing it down low. Floette the poison type sponge, is that what you're saying? All I know is adaptability sludge bomb. Alright, Nuzzle. So that is going to lower Scissor's speed. Scissor's not known for being one of the fastest Pokemon in the game, but what's important is that Scissor's got the potential to miss moves every single turn now. And also, there's this weird mind game at play where it's like, either one of these Pokemon can Mega. They're not like Megas that change the board state. Like, they're just going to become stronger, right? Mega Dragonite's going to get higher special attack. Mega Scissor's just going to get higher attack and bulk. We see King Gambit come in here. I think that the idea is that Raichu doesn't want to take a Bullet Punch and go down for nothing. Because Scissor's paralyzed, I think that the choice here is like, hey, let's Mega Dragonite, because it's just a stronger Pokemon, and I don't have to worry about getting full parried. Alright, Bullet Punch comes out into Gambit. It does close to nothing, but not nothing. Halucha's gonna use Entrainment onto Gambit and say, you know what, this looks like a board where I can start getting what I want. Gambit now has the ability to OHKO everything. And Hurricane comes out, and Halucha is no longer with us.
Can't Oko Sable.
That's true. It cannot OHKO Sableye. Both of these Pokemon do have Protect though, and Raichu has Sash broken, so it's unlikely that Raichu sees the end of this turn. Or actually, it's unlikely. Either they both Protect or Raichu sees the end of this turn. I think if I were in the situation of spins, I'd probably go for my Guillotine into, actually also Basculegion's immune to Guillotine too. I would probably throw my Guillotine into Scissor though, because if you throw it at Scissor, Scissor has a chance of getting full parried. No guard making it so Dragonite always hits that Hurricane. True, that's also a thing on that is worth considering. Because those Hurricanes will add up.
Can you redirect Entrainment, or is it like coaching?
I think you can redirect it, because you can target it on another Pokemon. Alright.
I kind of thought so, but I wasn't sure.
Because you can target Entrainment on the opponent instead of your ally. So you don't get no guard to yourself, but you get no guard to them, so you can hit them with like every move.
True. Okay, so King Gambit throws a Guillotine at Scissor. The Guillotine King Gambit is kind of scary. There are mind games at play. It could just be Choice Scarf Flip Turn again. It also could just be Last Respects or Aqua Jet to ignore Sucker Punch. Like, both of those are options that make a lot of sense given the situation. I think that you're kind of safe here to just throw a Guillotine at Scissor again, because he just protected. Basculegion switches out. Dragonite switches in. Caesar gets full parried. Raichu uses Thunder, but it misses. King Gambit uses Guillotine. And bye-bye Scissor. It's funny because that kind of looks like Scissor's hand. Like, it looks like a Scissor something, you know? It's like, got him! Alright. And just like that, we are one Pokemon closer to all Pokemon being guillotined. This Gambit is very scary right now. And notably, we don't know who the fourth and final Pokemon is on Spin's side. But what we do know is Sneasler quite scary. Does this Gambit have any way to protect? Because if it doesn't, this close combat's looking kind of tasty. Oh, it does have Choppleberry though. Choppleberry King Gambit is something. All right, this is White Herb Fake Out Sneasler. So both Pokemon susceptible to being guillotined this turn. Honestly, though, I miss playing this more balancey style of team. A-Tails, I'm so sorry for doubting you. That Frostless Girl was not the one. Fake Out comes out. It does not pick up. Nuzzle comes out. Notably, that's going to make it so Sneasler will be slower or have the chance not to move later. Draco Meteor comes out into Raichu. Honestly, kind of a good turn if you're Spins, because now this Dragonite's at lower special attack. It's less threatening. But the question is do you ever just throw guillotines out, or do you start throwing dark moves out trying to catch this Basculegion? Alright. This is... Also, I still feel like Paralyzed Sneasler is going to outspeed Sylveon. So, I guess the plays... The things that are at risk here are like, we can't let King Gambit take too many attacks, right? Like, if it gets if it gets close combated, even with the Choppleberry, it's gonna take a lot of damage. Also, like, who's swinging, what's protecting, who's getting out, can we get a Fake Out back online? Like, those are all questions at play here. And also, like, do we ever use a dark move into Sneasler? or Dragonite trying to catch this ghost Basculegion. Like, this is the case of the slippery fish. Where is the fish coming in, and how are we stopping it? And can we call it right? Alright. Sneasler protects. And I'm assuming Sylveon Hyper Beam says, I just don't want to see Sneasler. And Guillotine comes out. Both Pokemon are threatening a lot of offensive damage right now. Honestly, you can kind of protect here. Transgender Dog and Samurai Overlord is a vibe. Especially because Samurai Overlord is one-shotting everything with no guard Guillotine. That isn't a fish. Also, we have to give credit where credit is due. Ian is calling where that Guillotine is coming like every time. Aqua Jet comes out. It isn't enough. Sucker Punch is called. Aqua Jet does not connect into the fish. Close Combat connects. He eats the Chople Berry. It KOs King Gambit. The fish is good. I have a feeling we're gonna see this thing. Average modern gamer couple. Hyper Beam, or is it Hyper Beam, or is it Hyper Voice? Because if it's Hyper Beam, we're sitting in front of two really strong Pokemon for a turn. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye, have a good time. Okay. The battle ended due to a forfeit. It's interesting. Like, I don't dislike... I mean, I dislike quitting, but at the same time, it was super not favored for them, because basically they had to dodge probably 2 to 3 hurricanes. Because I think you have to do... I think you have to dodge like 4 hurricanes.
You had to dodge hurricanes, and Bask was still alive.
Well, Bask was alive, but locked into Aqua Jet. So I think you do...
Yeah, but you had to dodge Hyper Beam. I mean, you had to recharge Hyper Beam.
Right, so I gotta get off for the night. Thank you again for hosting. See you next week. Sounds like a plan, Nebula. Thanks for joining. Alright, also, is Dan still the last one? Who is the last one for this set? It's White... Okay. It looks like they're still going. But what I was gonna say is, like, okay, you Hyper Beam the Bask, and then you dodge 3 hurricanes. That's all we ask. And then you Hyper Beam the Dragonite. Get bada boom, bada bing.
Certainly my opponent doesn't get the quadruple protect for me to lose the game, right?
Certainly not.
Oh my god, I saw it. He got it for a second.
Is protect always possible, or do they just hit like
Technically, yes. It just makes it lower and lower odds. It goes from like
Well,
1
yeah,
in
but
3
is there
What?
a number at
and
which it's just
1 in
like
100.
Oh, 1 in 100?
I don't know how that scales, but
Well, isn't it like a multiple of 3 every time? Isn't it like you use it, then it's a 1 in 3, then it's a 1 in 9, so then it'd be like a 1 in 27.
Alright, these are all good
I was just
questions.
wondering if I'm like your.
I have to go to the
if it's
bathroom
just,
before
like,
the next round, so I'm gonna
not
put the stream on pause and I'll be right
mathematically
back.
possible based on how the game calculates things.
Okay. Okay. It does times 1/3 after each use. So it's a 1 in 3, then it's a 1 in 9, then it's a 1 in 27, then it's a 1 in 81, etc.,
Yeah.
etc., etc.
I'm just wondering at what point does the game stop calculating it and it just truncates to like a 0.
At what point does it overflow?
Yeah.
Well, we learned that speed doesn't overflow anymore, at least up to 2200 speed stat, so...
Oh, really? It doesn't in
Yes.
Champions?
Well, it at least goes past like 2280 speed or something like that. That's what they found out.
No more Regieleki,
Can't outspeed and trick room
outspeeding
because
trick
you're
room
overflowed.
means. Yeah.
Alright, stream. It's just me and Austin. Austin, how's your day going?
My day's going good.
What you playing today?
I didn't play today. I wanted to, but I was
That's why your day's going good. I understand now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've been wanting to play lately. I've just been wiped from work lately, so you know. Good problems, I guess, though. But yeah, my last clients was just like, it was. I was happy to go work with them. They were very, very nice, but the house was just very hectic, and there was a lot going on, and it was just like kind of overwhelming. Yeah. I was basically trying to get them advice on how to resolve the issue that they're having with their dog, and like they also have like 2 toddlers, you know, and so like, and there's just like toys all over the house, and so yeah, by the time I was like getting ready to leave, I was just like, this is chaotic. Not to mention it was like one of the most hyperactive dogs I've ever worked with. It was a lot.
All right, we're joining into a game versus it's White Boy versus Barazuka. Also, while I was gone, I see Dragonair Jordan followed. Appreciate it. I hope you guys have been having fun watching. It's crazy. I think we got like 10 followers just in this one stream. People seem to really be enjoying the spectating content, which is awesome. I guess I just gotta keep yapping. That's the secret to having good streams.
Oh yeah. No dead air. Gotta keep yapping.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we see a Conkeldurr Ampharos team. We're cooking. I love it. Okay. So obviously, if you're not familiar, it seems like this team is angled way more towards being a hard Trick Room team, with the idea that like if I get Trick Room up, it's gonna be hard to defeat my team, or I will take you out before that game ends. It also looks like Sableye did his job, because basically every Pokemon outside of Corviknight, every Pokemon is either burned or fainted on the opponent's side. Also, Tyranitar is threatening heavy, I cannot talk today. Tyranitar is heavily threatened by this Conkeldurr. I'm assuming Conkeldurr has Mach Punch. Let me check. Conkeldurr has Drain Punch and Mach Punch. So yeah, the Tyranitar is very, very heavily threatened here. Alright. Also, this Mimikyu is going to tick out next turn. Realistically, this game is looking super, super favored for White Boy.
Look at all the burns everywhere, too. Let's say like putting in work, man.
Yeah, I have not seen that many burns in a minute, outside of a Scoville team.
The very literal names, too, of Giraffe and Conkeldurr.
Yeah. And Conkeldurr, this one isn't, but some Conkeldurrs enjoy being burned. I'm following you, but IRL, don't check your walls. Oh god. I'll win in 5 turns or I'll lose in 6. Okay, so the reason Cherry Ballad says that, for people that are not familiar with Trick Room, is that Trick Room players, myself sometimes, I think I fall in that category. Basically, they either win before Trick Room is over, or they just commit to losing. Because generally, hard Trick Room teams, every single Pokemon is slow. So you're saying if I get Trick Room up, I'm going to be the fastest every single turn. And if it goes down, then I'm going to be slowest every single turn. So you're basically playing at a deficit outside of Trick Room. Alright. Play that funky music, Poncheldur. Is it possible? Sorry. Okay. Alright. That is the end of that set. Is it possible to be completely happy with your team, or is there always a tweak to improve on? That's a good question, and the answer is not one thing. Yes and no. It's possible to feel very comfortable with a team, but the meta will always evolve and change, and the formats will change too. So like, you can get really comfortable with a team and be like, oh, this is perfect for me, but like there's bad matchups. They exist. You want to have your team be as good as possible into as many things as possible, but there's no such thing as a perfect team, with the exception of a few teams that are basically like really hard for any team to deal with. But even still, even those ones do have bad matchups, or teams are built to counter those. So, what you're aiming for is a team that feels great for you and does well into almost everything. It's very rare to be completely happy, honestly, because it's impossible to make a perfect team. Yep, those things are all true.
All right.
You're usually giving up something to get something. So that's the hard.
Every team I played today has had rain.
Yeah, rain. My team does pour into rain. See, that's a good example. At the Scraw tournament this weekend, I was able to go like, I think I was 9-3 when I ended up stopping, but I played more after that, and I still lost more after that. But like my record until I was like out of contention to win the tournament was 9-3, which is great. In the biggest tournament of all time, I came in like the top 250. There was like 10,000 people, whatever. But my team has a terrible rain matchup.
I don't want.
That's not okay if rain is the most common team in the format. I mean, it's okay, but it's like not ideal.
Good luck, have fun.
All right, let's see. I'm rewatching the game. I have Adamant Sneasler, so Halucha outsped. I saw it in G1. I have so Halucha outsped. I saw it in G1. That's interesting. That's really interesting. I didn't know. Okay. That, like, I guess you can play to that. Most Sneaslers end up going Jolly because the other Sneaslers are all Jolly and you have to speed tie them. But I guess if you're like, I know I'm going to be slower, but I know I'm going to hit harder, maybe you're okay with making those adjustments. All right, where are we jumping in? We're jumping in against, we're seeing Miss Augie, or Mr. Augie. So I can't CC the King Gambit. Okay, I see what you're saying. And also, I'm making commentary on things that I think, but I don't know everything. I'm decent at the game, but like there's information. Pokemon's a game of information omission. It's like, even though it's open team sheet, we don't know spreads of Pokemon, and you have to glean those while you're playing. So Mr. Ian is saying these things on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, that's why if you're like, why is Parker talking to himself? That's why. Alrighty. Cuckoo.
Okay, they go with the Meganium mode. That's kind of what I thought they'd do, but
2251 5032.
wasn't quite prepared for it.
Claro. What is Claro? Cool. Alright. I will say all this watching has made me want to play, which is funny because I literally played all weekend. Champions, I'm going to say it, I think that it was a great idea for them to remove all the items and the complexity, because I feel like it's made it so easy for so many new people to join in on the fun. And then we're going to slowly drip feed all that more complex stuff back in, which is, it's so cool.
Oh, I don't like this turn.
Glad to hear you say that,
I'm
Parker,
just gonna
because I
get
remember when they
started.
gutted all the items and you were not happy about it, and I was like, I feel like this is good.
I mean, it was midnight. I was unhappy at midnight on day one. And I mean, if you rewind the clock back, you'll see that, like, on day 2 or 3, I was talking to Mac about it, and I was like, oh wait, is Mac still in this? Maybe I need to check out him if he's still here. Uh-oh. I don't think he is. Did Mac go? Mac went 1-2 drop. Interesting. Wonder what happened.
He's playing 2x KO.
Oh.
The classic 1-2 drop into.
No, he went 1-1 drop. He won.
Oh.
God, I hate Basculegion mind games, bro. You're not clicking Aqua Jet. You're not gonna do it. You're not that guy. I don't believe it. Well, I was right. He didn't click Aqua Jet, but switching an instant might be worse for me.
Okay, so let's check this out. All right, Augie is running a Mega Blastoise team, I'm assuming. Let's see.
Is it Farigiraf?
It's
Yeah.
Farigiraf and
I
Blastoise
know,
with
it's the MDB Brain Dance Farigiraf Trick Room Blastoise.
with Aurasphere, Dark Pulse, Water Spout. Also they have. Okay. So the thing to note is that generally this team seems to do better on ladder, and this is a good thing for people to know that are coming into VGC and want to play it more competitively. Different teams do better in different environments. Like a team that does really well in closed team sheet environment isn't going to do as well in an open team sheet environment. Like the ability Frisk exists for a reason, to see what your items your opponents have. And also, it's like Blastoise is a really strong Pokemon in closed sheet because you don't know, is it clicking Shell Smash? Is it setting up on me? Is it going to be slow? Is it going to KO me under Trick Room? Also, notably, Blastoise is a Pokemon that wants to click Water Spout, and to click Water Spout, you need to have full health. And right now, leading Blastoise with no redirection support, it's going to let people tap you like that. And if they tap you with moves like this, your Water Spout's getting weaker every single turn. So, Dark Pulse, they say, you know what, I just don't want to deal with Basculegion. Basculegion survives, it's EV to do that. And is Trick Room going up? It is. Okay, so Trick Room is up. We saw the speed order goes Basculegion, then Whimsicott, then Farigiraf. Notably, I would say it's probably pretty good that Basculegion didn't go down here because it doesn't let the next Pokemon get in for free. Basculegion is basically a sitting duck here. With that said, what do you do? What do you do in this situation? It's like you could click Water Spout and KO it and also get damage into Whimsicott. You could click Dark Pulse thinking another Pokemon might switch in. You could, like, there are a lot of choices that you have here right now. With that said, it's like, also, if Sinestcha's in the back, you could bring Sinestcha in and heal up Blastoise a little bit. Like, all of those are perfectly valid options, but notably, Blastoise's moves are the typings are Water, Dark, and Fighting. That is all resisted by Whimsicott. Alright, so Sinestcha enters. That is going to heal up Blastoise a good decent amount, but the thing is like, Water Spout is a good play because it's going to remove the Basculegion and not offer any more offense, but it's not going to remove Whimsicott. Whimsicott's probably just going to throw another Moonblast at Blastoise, and every time you throw a Moonblast, there's the potential that it lowers your special attack. And also your Water Spouts get weaker every single turn too. And like, every single turn you're not taking a KO in Trick Room is a turn that you're just kind of chilling here, right? It's not as scary. Alright, let's see what kind of Charizard this is we're looking at. Alright, it's Darwin's team. Darwin is running Charizard Y. So realistically, Charizard could Mega Evolve here, and if it does that, it's gonna really lower the damage output of water moves, which means that, like, even though Water Spouts normally have really strong moves, like Whimsicott and Charizard are gonna tank this really easily. You could Life Dew on Sinestcha to increase your damage output and get some good chip onto Charizard, but it's like, if you just click Solar Beam, Charizard's going bye-bye. Alright, let's see what Augie chooses to do here. Alright. Augie throws out... Alright, Drought is up. Whimsicott protects. Whimsicott says, you know what? I think it's just better to play it defensively this turn. Charizard protects too. Honestly, a Life Dew could be really, really big here for Augie. Does it go for it? Yes, okay. Life Dew does help. We see some healing into Blastoise. After another Life Dew, it's going to do real damage to Charizard. Dark Pulse is chosen. They decide, you know what, I just want to get consistent damage into Charizard. It's not going to pick up, but it's going to do decent damage. And Trick Room turns are winding down as well. We have 2 turns of Trick Room, we got 4 turns of Harsh Sunlight. And I'm assuming that this Charizard, oh, okay, yeah. I'm assuming this Charizard does have Solar Beam, and it does. There's a bit of a mind game at play, though, for this Charizard here, because this Charizard can either click Solar Beam, which will remove the Blastoise, or it can click Heat Wave, which will remove the Sinestcha. But the thing is if it clicks Solar Beam and Sinestcha redirects, then it's going to be rough. Does this Water Spout pick up? Water Spout does not pick up, but it does most of Charizard's health. It was a critical hit on Charizard. I was going to say, the Sun did a lot of work there, but almost not enough. Heat Wave launches out. The Pokemon that you want to connect with, it does not connect. Heat Wave is good damage, but the thing is like, if they both... Okay, the burn is going to be really good too, because that's slight chip over time as well. Alright, Moonblast into Blastoise. Can we get a special attack drop? Yes or no? No. Okay. They do get unfortunate with the burn, but it's like, it might be too little too late here. Alright, So the question here is, like, they're always clicking Life Dew, right? Or do you ever protect with Charizard but swing with Whimsicott? Alright, they remove the Blastoise, and they say, you know what? I think I can get Trick Room back up this way. Whimsicott clicks Protect. Charizard clicks Protect. Machagacha comes out. Nobody takes any damage. Alright, Twisted Dimensions return to normal. And now, honestly, unless this is Akaberry Sinestro, I imagine it's going down to a Heat Wave. Let's check. Alright. It is Colberberry Sinestro. So, a Heat Wave plus Moonblast double up into the Farigiraf. It is Citrus Berry Farigiraf. Might not be enough. It looks like they're angling to go inside of Trick Room one more time. Alright, Garchomp comes out. Yay, I got a match point. Congratulations, Apex. That's awesome. Alright, let's see. It's all about taking little wins where you can get them every single time, right? Alright. So instead of choosing to double for a graph, they say, let's get Garchomp in here, because Garchomp is not threatened by a singular Water Spout. Here comes the Mutant Ninja Turtle. Also, notably, Blastoise is really low. So low, in fact, that an Earthquake would probably pick it up. But the thing is, Trick Room is still up, and the double up into Garchomp could be fatal. I don't think Farigiraf is in range of getting picked up from Earthquake. Charizard protects, trying to stall out Trick Room turns. Farigiraf uses Psychic into Charizard, and I guess the idea here is that, like... Oh, a Dark Pulse flinch could be really, really bad. Earthquake comes out. Okay. We're preserving the Charizard as long as we can. Earthquake does not pick up Farigiraf. Harsh Sunlight fades, but I don't think we need that anymore. It doesn't look like any of the Pokemon on the remaining side of the field are known for being very quick, or being able to hit inside of the sun or with rain. They don't use water or fire moves. That's what I'm trying to say. Missed my first and third round due to inattentiveness, though. I'm sorry to the opponents whose time I've wasted. It happens. But it is one of those things where it's like, that's why it's good to have the Discord notification set. If you toggle the punching bag inside of the Discord, it will, sorry, not punching bag, the punching glove. Oh, Ironhead. Ironhead's a great play there, because it does not matter if it's Charizard or Whimsicott, it's picking up regardless. Alright, now the question is, does Psychic or Hyper Voice pick up this Garchomp? Alright. The dogs are barking. Alright, Earthquake into both. It's not enough to pick up. But the thing is, Charizard's gonna come back. If they can get 2 double protects, they can use Earthquake and Heat Wave to KO both Pokemon. Let's see. 5 turns of Harsh Sunlight, 2 turns of Trick Room. The only way you get through this is with the double protect. There's spaghetti in the fridge. Alright, so Charizard protects itself. Garchomp protects itself. This turn was always guaranteed. How's work? I'm streaming, but you can exist. Yeah, I mean, okay. Okay. Yeah, haha. I do actually, but I actually get. Okay, hold on. Words are difficult. Yeah, haha. I do actually, but I don't get a ping when my phone is on. I was literally watching your stream while doing the dishes and didn't notice you started watching round 3 until you said the name of the guy who beat me in round 2. Well, you know what? If you play more, you'll get more familiar with when it happens and when it doesn't, you know. But yeah, okay. So the only way out of here for Satoru is to become the Enlightened One and double protect and see through all of these attacks. And then on top of it, you have to... Actually, no, it'll be fine, because Garchomp's Rough Skin will tick out. I'm looking at these names, I'm like, who's who? Moscow 5 is King Gambit. Okay, never mind. Okay.
Wait, am I speed tied?
They got one double protect. Can they get the second one? No, they can't. All right. Oh, they do! They get the double-double! That's so rude!
Double.
They get the double-double!
What happened?
Double-double! Toil and trouble.
Moscow 5 is
GG.
in reference to, but whoever Augie is needs to watch Danger 5, because that's probably a good King Gambit name.
I saw I outsped them last game with...
So now this turn, all they have to do is they click Earthquake and Heatwave, and the only way they win now... Okay, there is a win condition still for this player. They have to Sucker Punch the Garchomp, and then they have to dodge the Heatwave on one of the Pokemon. Sucker Punch the Garchomp. Okay, Garchomp goes down. OMG the double-double. Alright, now can one of these Pokemon dodge the Heatwave? Okay, they don't. He became the Enlightened One. There was no chance.
Your max speed Meganium, bro? Are you kidding me?
He literally just said, I'm gonna hit the double-double, and then I'm also going to hit the double Heatwave. Oh. He's literally untouchable. That should be...
Crazy.
I should clip that. That's crazy. The double-double in the double Heatwave. Oh my gosh.
That's crazy, man.
John had to deal with the speed Meganium, but Augie had to deal with the double protect and the double hit Heatwave.
What was that, game 3? Let's see. Or did they just mentally resign after that one? I wouldn't even blame them. That was a crazy set. And it's funny because, like, we're watching this set, and this set isn't, like, the people that have gone, like, 4-0. These are people playing at the, like, mid-level of the bracket. It's like... just because you are going undefeated or you're losing games doesn't mean you're not good. Like, that was good Pokemon. And, and these are people that are currently at a negative rate, like a negative record. It's like, these players are all good. It's hard to win tournaments when everybody's good. Semis, good job, man. That was a fun set to watch. Good games from both players. Gifted, holy cow. Wow. I've never been gifted that many subs before. My god, thank you. Holy cow. Byron the boss. I have... my girlfriend's gonna get jealous. Thanks, Izzy, for the sub, too. Oh my gosh.
That should have been a winnable game. I just could not figure it out.
I really appreciate it. I don't know what to say. Look at the little substitute animation I made for it. Thank you. Look at how much we get to appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my god.
I love the sub. The sub animation's good.
Thank you. I felt good about that one. Look at them. They keep going. Blair, I'm a millionaire now. Yeah, I'll buy dinner. Okay, let's focus on what's going on in the game. Alright, so this time, we noticed that Satoru says, you know what? I don't care. I am putting the Heat Wave up. I'm saying, no, you don't get to throw out free water spouts. Blastoise Megas. The substitute dolls are cute. Thank you. I made them. If you want to see more of them, you just have to spend more money. I'm just joking. Alright, fake out into the Charizard. Fake out into the Charizard. We'll do a little bit of chip, which is really nice. And then Blastoise will take just a little bit from the Earthquake. Charizard flinches. Trick Room goes up. Oh my gosh. I think, guys, we're gonna see the rain dance. Here comes the spider. The itsy bitsy spider. That, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm too excited about all these subs. Anyway.
Parker's like, ooh, money.
I got money. Okay, Charizard protects. Farigiraf uses Rain Dance. I don't know if this is going to pick up Garchomp. This is a strong attack. I don't think it's going to pick up, but I think it's going to do most of the work. And the hard thing here is that, like, you just bring in Sinestro the following turn. You can't double your way out of this one. Alright, I'm imagining it's Dragon Claw or Earthquake, or yeah, they just want to do as much damage as possible to Charizard. But the thing is, inside of the rain, like, that Charizard is not taking this. Also,
Parker got gifted 5 subs and told Blair he's a millionaire.
yeah, I have a new best friend, and their name is, I think it was Byron the Boss gifted it for everyone. Or no, Izzy subscribed at the same time. Or was it all a gift? Or was it just everyone was completely, like, synced up? Thank you. I think the substitute dolls are pretty cute myself as well.
Yeah, they were all from Apex, Parker.
Oh, they were all from. Oh, they're from Apex. Apex, you are the man. Here comes the spider to describe the rain dance. Is so funny. The itsy bitsy spider. Maybe that's what Araquanid is supposed to be. The itsy bitsy spider from the nursery rhyme. It was me. Apex, you are the best. You won your round, but like then you were so generous you paid it forward. Okay,
Apex
was that?
did the dishes and then was in a very good mood.
What's up? Okay, so Basculegion switching in is great, but the thing is, Basculegion has such a poor match. No, you're the shucks. But anyway, Basculegion has such a poor matchup into Sinestro that like the momentum is still just on this Ninja Turtle side. Like the mutant Blastoise is just going crazy right now. We did see a crazy game 1, and we know that Satoru knows what plays to make in order to get out of this one, so, or even when things look bleak, they can figure it out. So we'll have to see. All right, Machikachik does connect into both, and both go down. Sinestro says, you know what? I'm not going to be the support. I'm going to be the whole package. All right, let's see. Let's see. All right. Thank you for being a great ambassador for the Pokemon community. Well, I'm not the ambassador. Maybe one day. No, I'm just kidding. I think we only have one. I think that's Lorsey. But it... Alright. So realistically, Charizard comes in. This is going to mitigate the damage coming out from these two Pokemon. The tournament is 4 rounds. The tournament is 5 rounds, so there's 1 round after this one. Okay. So, hype train? We got a hype train? Chugga chugga. Let's go. Okay. So, I think it's safe to say that this Ninja Turtle's probably just pumping on the gas and still throwing out big moves. Like, Trick Room's still up. There's only 1 turn, but the thing is like, we're finally at the point where Charizard's going to start doing the damage. Oh, hype 2-2 so far? Banestar, look at you. You're like, I don't know if I should do my first tournament, and now... Also, I hear Blair watching me in the other room, and I'm like, it's crazy. But anyway, you're doing your first tournament, and you're already 2-2. Like, that's how you start things. We got the ball rolling. Banestar's winning the next regional they go to. All right. Okay, Life Dew on Farigiraf, trying to keep it healthy. Honestly, a really good passive play here by Augie, saying, you know what, you're under Trick Room, you're under threat. Like, realistically, I'm not that scared of you. So instead of saying, like, I'm going to pump the gas, I'm just going to, be patient. And because of that, we've healed up Farigiraf, and it's likely that Farigiraf is just going to set the Trick Room up again. But we also know that Satoru has, like, this absolutely crazy luck. So they... Okay, I will talk about that in a second. Maybe there's a chance. I'm sorry, Satoru. I did you dirty. I just said you had crazy luck, and then like everything went sideways for you. Okay, so what happened here is that Encore is a great move for locking Pokemon into the same attack over and over again. But there were a few things that happened. Normally you can do this whenever, but you can't. I did commentary curse them, didn't I? But normally when you use Encore, it's a status move. So it's like it's not an attack. It's like growl. It's like I'm just being annoying, right? So Encore into Jolly Good or Farigiraf, it would make it so they do the same attack over and over again. The thing is that Whimsicott's ability is Prankster, which means it always goes faster than all the non-attacking moves. It gets +1 priority. But the thing about that is that Friggraff has Armor Tail, and Armor Tail blocks all +1 priority moves. So the two abilities basically interacted together there, and it just kind of shut down.
It's only to target you, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you still Sunny Day, right?
You can,
Yeah,
you can Sunny Day. Does he have Sunny Day though?
Or you were saying because of Armor Tail blocking the priority, but...
Armor Tail blocked Encore.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, we commentary cursed them. Charizard's loading up a Solar Beam, and by doing that, they're saying, you know what? I have this in the tank. You cannot bring in your Blastoise this turn. But instead, Friggraff said, fine, I'll do it myself. I'm just throwing out the Psychic. Matcha Gotcha 2.
That way too.
What's up?
Could have just recovered and eaten Solar Beam that way as well, but the Matcha Gotcha should put it out of range unless it gets double.
Yeah. I'm imagining the Solar Beam's probably going to be... Oh, Loon Soon's also resubscribed. Look at that. We're on a roll. Guys, I'm a billionaire now. Okay, Solar Beam does not do a lot into Friggraff. I've moved up from million to billion.
You jump scared me, John, with your reaction.
What?
Parker jump scared me with his comment.
What? From...
Now would be a great time to remind everybody, if they have a Prime subscription, they can drop a Prime sub for Parker. Why give your money to Daddy Bezos when you can give it to Daddy Longlegs? Am I right?
It's funny, like, okay, but like there's lore to that. Like Daddy Longlegs was my old Smash tag that I had to get rid of because people kept calling me Daddy. So that's what he's saying. Anyway. Yeah, okay. Psychic into Charizard. Life Dew. I mean, I give all the credit in the world to Satoru for playing it out from here, but it's like, it's so difficult. I'm having so much fun and learning so much. Thank you, Lazy Warlock. I'm glad you learned about Armor Tail, and you definitely did not know about that before. Technically, I should do teaching stuff when it comes to this, because, like, my degree is in education. Like, I should make it never-ending spider lore drops. Yeah, exactly. I'm teaching you the secret about the itsy bitsy spider tech. I love that. Oh my god. This has been a really fun stream. I think I need to do more of the commentary in general. But I also, like, I gotta get better at being more serious about commentary, because I feel like if I were to, like, long-term goal would be to commentate, like, the Pokemon stream. But I feel like if I got up there and just started laughing about the itsy bitsy spider to myself instead of actually talking about what was going on in the game, people would be like, what is this man talking about? Okay. Okay. Game 2 is a loss. But we're going to Game 3 in the most epic set of all time. My Aerodactyl just locked in like crazy. Was it flinching everything or what happened? I had forgot that I protected the turn before. Yeah, that's how it goes, Cherry Ballad. Well, in those long games, you'll start to notice, like, even, like, higher level players just start making mistakes, because, like, every single turn you're like, all right, I'm making a big read, I'm making a big thing, I'm planning, I'm thinking, I'm blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you get to the point where the mental burnout's just crazy. If you go back and watch my stream from the Scraw tournament, you'll see a game, like, one of the games I'm playing against my opponent, and they have me pinned dead to rights, but because they had thought for so long, they just ran out of time. And it was like, I had protected my Sneasler with the hope of maybe they'd have Joy-Con drift and target into each other. And then it was like following turn, I'm like, all right, I guess I'll just go for another double protect. And then it was just like, timeout, they lose. And I was like, my God, it happened. I won, I got bailed.
Failed in the Cup the other day because of a weird connection bug we had.
Yeah.
Where it just like froze for like a minute and a half, and then it just chose like the wrong move for them instead of switching out like their Charizard Y.
That happened to me. I've had that happen before. That's not fun. I hope that it seems like they're resolving everything, so I hope that in the future that continues to be resolved. Also, Apex. Thank you. That means a lot. Apex is my biggest fan. If nobody got me, Apex got me. They gifted me like 5 subs and they're like, I believe in you. Personally, I really enjoyed the commentary style stream. Okay, well, we'll keep them coming. We'll do more in the future, for sure. I might alternate. I might go back and forth. Or if I will be honest, this stream has been more fun than the other streams I've done in the past. But I will go on further and say that, okay, it seems like there's a misunderstanding about Armor Tail here that I'm going to talk about I'm going to share with them in just a second. But anyway, the streams have been more fun, but I do like playing the game too. In the Scraw tournament, there was an endgame where I forgot I used Electroweb against a Mechanium, so I Aqua Jet instead of Moonblast versus it, and it survived on 1 HP. Oh, that's rough. Yeah, see, like, you get to the point where you're just, like, completely at mental burnout, and you start making plays, and you're like, why did I do that? Like, that's everybody.
I think playing a long tournament like the Straw Tour is a great way to prep for playing in an actual, like, VGC event if you plan on going to one, because playing through, like, slogging through, like, a 9-round tournament online isn't even as stressful as in 4, but it helps you, like, get in the mindset of those long, arduous, kind of drawn-out days, and just like kind of mentally prepare for it, honestly. It's just such a
I remember the first regional I ever went to. I was like, after like round 4, I was like, I'm done.
It's tough, man.
Yeah. No, that's completely real.
Thankfully, rounds and champions go way quicker. So hopefully at future regionals, it'll actually be like we'll have more downtime in between rounds because they go so quick.
The first Champions Regional is going to end at like 1 o'clock. They're going to be like, well, no, not the first one, because they're going to have to work through the technical difficulties of people learning how to do it. But the second one, the NAIC, we're going to be done before Friday. All right. Also, Izzy, I'm curious how you did in the Scraw tournament overall, because like you've been kicking butt lately. So hopefully you had a good run there. Pokemag said, I have Joy-Con drifted into attacking myself but got bailed by Fake Out. That happens. I've had a game on the ladder where they must have Joy-Con drifted where they'll fake out their other the other teammate and I just win. I'm like, okay, sure. Like they just shut their own board down.
But they're based for playing Octopath Traveler 2 on your friend's list, Parker.
Sorry, say that again, John. You didn't come through.
I don't know who your friend is, but I saw them playing Octopath Traveler 2 there, and I'm like, that's a good person.
They played what with what?
Octopath Traveler 2, one of your friends list popped up.
Oh, I didn't see who was playing Octopath Traveler 2, but I've got cool friends. 5-3 drop is respectable. Plays top 1,000 though, so we take it. Rock on, Izzy, rock on. That's got to be good practice too for you to do like a longer one, because you're gonna come in and you're gonna take your first regional by storm. Cherry Ballad. Also, since next one is the last round, I'd love some commentary for my games. Yes, Cherry Ballad. I will 100% get you. I will make you the primary stream set.
Feature match.
All right, helping hand. All right, here comes Big Turtle. All right, Big Turtle Blast. Bye bye everybody. I cannot talk. This is how the team is supposed to go. Blastoise blows everything up. Scald. Okay. Scraw was rough for me because it started at 11 p.m. I was so tired. Yeah, I can only imagine. So is this like an early morning tournament for you then, Apex?
Probably you, Timer.
Glimmy on stream. Rah! Okay.
We love Lamora.
Yeah, that's a Pokemon that I think is like, you don't see a ton of it, but it's really strong. So
do you
it's
know
interesting. Why?
It's because it's a poison type in a format where Sneasler's dominant, which means everybody has like 6 answers to poison types.
True.
Yeah, and on top of that, Garchomp was like the second most used mon.
Yeah.
I love the Glamora design. I think it's a really cool mon. Again, the only issue I have with it is that like there's like 6 out of 7 like major megas and mons in the format absolutely dunk on it. Like Garchomp destroys it. Like you have Basculegion's your most popular Pokemon. Sneasler does well into it. It's tough. It's tough sledding. It is tough, but at the same time, like some people's answers to Sneasler are flying types, and Glamora eats those up like Reese's Puffs. Oh, that was a foul.
How's the spaghetti? The ice cream? Even better.
What?
Alright. I'm blocking it. Alright, Cybertron predicted what was the top 16 would be dominated by Japanese, and I don't know if there were any. Yeah, of course. America! No, I don't know.
I mean, in general, JP is
This
really, really
there is a
strong.
reason I'm running 8 tails. I mean, Alolan 9 tails is really good. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Are you doing disable stuff? I feel like that's really slept on. This
That's
tour
good for
started at
Gengar right
8:30
now,
in
for sure.
Japan, which is actually
decent
perfect
time,
for me. Well, I'm glad. We're gonna keep them at this time just for you. All right. Okay. So I've been distracted by good conversation and commentary. It looks like Trick Room just went up. Rain is up. Everything is down. It's looking really difficult. Okay, I will say this. Satoru had a really rough matchup, and they played it literally perfectly game one, but playing it perfectly doesn't mean that you're going to win the set. So, mad respect to both players. It was really hard, and it was good to see that Charizard showed that even in, like, unwinnable matchups, you can still find lines to make it happen. Like, this is like a 95-5 matchup. Like, 95% of the time you lose it, 5% of the time you win. And the fact that they showed that they could find that 5 is really impressive. It might not be like the actual ratio, I'm just talking about it, but it's good to see, like, even, like, the matchup looks doomed, but, like, we saw game one by them, right? So, alright, sorry, I'm ignoring you guys by just rambling.
Prayer.
And it runs the top 2 megas as well. Hold on. What? 6 subs went well spent. I appreciate you spending on them. Nah, Icy Wind, Veil Blizzard. Okay, that's sick too. By the way, showing my bad game 3 against Master Mark instead of my round where I just won off self KO. Lazy. Okay, I'm sorry. Well, actually, you know what? Actually, I feel good about that, Lazy, because then maybe that's the round that you can improve on. Because we all know you're a good player, so why show your good stuff when it's like, okay, you can be fallible, you can make mistakes, you can grow from them. I'm sorry. I'd rather have my good stuff shown too, though. But actually, my first ever stream match is like abysmal. Like when they put me on the Nintendo stream, I got like destroyed, and I also was like 40 pounds heavier, and I like, because I'd watch the stream match back and I'd be like, oh, I don't look good, and that was one of the things that motivated me. I was like, I gotta get fit. But yeah. By the way, showing my Focus Blast Zard Y is wild. I like it because it's like, you know what? I'm just gonna bust through some things that aren't ready for me. The dark types. Let's just throw it on there. But you also have to understand that I'm a Focus Blast Crown player from the last regulation, and everyone called it fake until it was starting to win, so whatever.
It's still fake, bro.
Help.
I think it's still fake.
I'm coming to you next, Cherry. I'll help you next, okay? Oh, thank you. Yes, I do. Is there any left? Why'd you say it like that? Why? You can eat it. Yeah, eat it. You're fine. It's fine. It's all good. Eat the ice cream. Focus miss. Yeah, when it misses, it's not a good move. But other than that, it's good. No, I know. I'm just joking, but I'm so proud of this play. Yeah, the self KO plays that are optimal. You always feel like you lean back and you're like, I have the biggest brain in the universe. It's always great.
I close combat myself while playing Aiden at the Michigan tour because like I need the speed boost and either I get it and he double protects and I have a chance, or I don't and I lose, so it's fine.
I'm gonna take a bite and then the rest is yours. I didn't have to work tonight. You did. There we go. That is very good. Thank you.
Parker, you're the GOAT.
Girl, not actually. I'm laughing. Girl, not again. I'm laughing. Not actually in trouble. I don't understand what you're saying, Cherry.
It's okay, Parker.
Double for the win again.
Soon.
Is that what's happened? Wait, have they clawed it back? Have I been like, oh yeah, they're gonna lose, and I just started talking about ice cream and stuff, and they're like, I'm tooth and nail clawing this game back. Is that what's happening? No, that turtle's got too high of health. There's no way.
I mean, there's no sun. That's the problem. Like,
Yeah.
You can't kill.
Because you have to heat wave, and that will remove the Sinestcha, because Sinestcha always rage powders. You can't solar beam. Melodic is just chilling there, doing what Melodics do when there's no Incineroar, which is nothing.
The water spout just.
Alright, Melodic fails the double. Charizard fails the double. We don't get to see the double-double, but we respect the try. And even though it was like an unwinnable matchup, they still really worked hard at it. Respect. Alright. That was, like, for it being as hard of a matchup as it was, that like both players played it really well, and it's good just to see. It's crazy. Okay, I feel like I'm starting to say a thought, and then I don't even finish the thought, and then I go to the next thought. What I was going to say is the best thing about Champions being like completely competitive focused is like even at like the lower end of the bracket, you get such high level games. Like people are getting so good at this game, it's gonna be nearly impossible for players to be consistent because like everyone's so good now. Let's see. Okay, that was the last match, so we're going to go to game number 5. Also, did I post the announcement? I did. Okay, cool. End round, pairing the next round.
Oh no.
I was about to say, oh, you could go play Pocopia, but I realized I have to switch. Let's see. Okay. Well, we can, now that we've won $1 million, I'm a billionaire from my 5 Twitch subscribers, so now I can buy you another Switch. Let's see. Tournament round 5 is up. You say that, but the top 5 of the ranked ladder are basically all world champs / international champs. No, I know. I agree. I agree that, like, people being consistent is a thing. But I'm just saying, like, it's gonna get harder and harder. Let's see. Okay, Cherry Ballad. We're watching your game. I'm excited. Cherry Ballad's got, like, Glamorous Snow stuff, and that's stuff you don't always see. What was I going to say? Oop. I just typed in all those numbers and now I have to do it again. 3, 6, 5, 7. Alright. I KO'd my Gambit to get a free switch into Zard on the last turn of my opponent's Tailwind against a +5 Corviknight. Lazy, you're just crazy. Yeah. I didn't see that one before. Double is crazy though. I need to start clipping some of these things. Also, it looks like Meganium's head's like cut off because of the green screen. Oh. Can I make Meganium is part of my shirt? Alright, we're gonna watch this. Alright, cool. It's important to know that Cherry is Lizette and Almond Spy is Almond Spy. Cherry is running Glamora, a Mega Glamora specifically. There is no Focus Sash on their team. They also have Mega Gardevoir. They have Sinestro with Citrus Berry and Life Dew, so it's like a very medically focused, healthy focused Sinestro. White Herb Sneasler, Nevermelt Ice Alolan Ninetales with Icy Wind Blizzard and Aurora Veil. Black Glasses King Gambit with Sucker Punch and Kowtow, so and Swords Dance, so basically they're doing big damage. Hello, Pokestoist the Boss. Glad to have you. We're having a crazy great stream, and I hope you're having fun. Pokemon is cool, right? Yes. And then Gardevoir has Trace, which is always fun. I need to start playing Trace Gardevoir because I like the ability to just be like, haha, I'm sneaky. I have your little thing now. But not so sneaky that I'm Ditto. Like, Ditto, that's too sneaky. You don't want to risk getting their stuff. Okay. Charizard Y has Solar Power, Heat Wave, Weather Ball, Solar Beam. Focus Sash, Whimsicott, Moonblast, Tailwind, Protect, Encore. Ferg has Citrus Berry, Hyper Voice, Psychic, Trick Room, and Prison. Sneasler has White Herb, Unburden, Close Combat, Fake Out, Dire Claw, Protect. This is a Choice Scarf Garchomp, so it's going to go real fast. It's got Dragon Claw, Rock Slide, Earthquake, Stomping Tantrum, but when it locks into a move, it's locked in for good. And then we have King Gambit with Kowtow, Sucker Punch, and Low Kick, and Protect. Alright. Also, it's important to know that, okay, this is, the Garchomp on the side facing the opponent is the one with the Choice Scarf. Is there another Garchomp? No. Okay. One thing I would like to note is that on Lizette's team, or Cherry's team, they don't have anyone with a Sash. And despite having a lot of, like, frailer Pokemon, they can go down at any time, which is kind of scary. They do have Ninetales with Aurora Veil to offset some of their lack of bulk, but I don't know if it's enough. We'll have to see. Pokemon's super cool, Pokestoist Boss. I hope that you're having a fun night. Also, I see that people have been messaging, shaking my head, girl, why are you dodging me? I have no idea what to say on that one, so I'm just gonna ignore it. Alright. Garchomp went for Stomping, they went for Protect. It looks like they most likely just set up Trick Room. Okay, cool. Notably, Garchomp's gonna underspeed. Oh no, this is Scarf Garchomp, so it's not gonna underspeed this Sneasler. But realistically, Garchomp shouldn't be threatening too much damage into Sinestro. They could click Earthquake to try and just remove the Sneasler. Even with a double up, it's unlikely that Sneasler and Sinestro are going to remove Garchomp, because generally Scarf Garchomps usually have a little bit of bulk in them, because like they get the Scarf, they go up to the speeds they need to hit, and then they can take the rest and they put it into bulk. Garchomp chooses to remove itself from the field to add Sneasler. Sneasler's going to have Fake Out, so the following turn it's going to be able to stop Pokemon from attacking, most notably the Sneasler on the other side of the field. Sinestro goes for Rage Powder. The juiciest target on the trainer side of the field, I'm just calling it that because that's the name, is Kingambit, so the Protect is safe, and a Trick Room turn is gone. Alright, I am not sure if Almond Spy has Protect on their... Or no, it's not Almond Spy. No, it was, I'm right. No, I'm looking at Cherry. I'm crazy. Cherry does not have Protect on their Sinestro. They do protect their Sneasler. Fake Out goes into the Sneasler. It's likely that the Sinestro goes for Matcha Gotcha, just kind of fishing for burns. It misses on the Sneasler. It connects on the Kingambit. The Sinestro is Citrus Berry. Is there a burn? There is not. So Kowtow is going to swing big and true into the Sinestro, and it removes it from the field. It looks like a lot of the other Pokemon on the other side of the field do have Protect, so they're kind of free to come in here and ignore this Kingambit. Also notably, the fact that we didn't see Kingambit switch in there, to me kind of indicates that they probably didn't bring it. Because Kingambit makes a lot of sense to bring into your opponent on that turn because you know they're swinging with a Dark type. Alright, Ninetales enters the field. The scary thing for Ninetales, since it doesn't have Sash here, is that if Almond Spy's Kingambit has Steel move... No, it doesn't. I was going to say, if it had a Steel move, it's times 4 effective and it would be able to remove it. So in a Trick Room situation, it would be really scary, but likely this Ninetales is okay. It's going to be able to swing before the Sneasler, but the Sneasler plus the Kingambit, together they're going to be able to pick it off. So while Lizette has a really cool team, it's been really hard to see it get into motion because Trick Room's been up for the majority of this game. There are only 2 turns remaining, and after those 2 turns are over, they're going to be a lot less threatening, but until we get there, it's going to be hard for Lizette to leverage their team. Alright, so Glamora comes in, Kingambit protects, Sneasler goes for a Dire Claw into Ninetales, and it's enough to pick up. Even with the Snow Boost, oh, that's why it hits a critical hit. Alright, so something to note is that any Ice type that is under Snow gets a plus 50% to their defense, so generally, you'd think that your Ninetales would survive that play, and I think that's why they felt comfortable making the play they did. But you know what? Even though things are looking really grim for Lizette now with only 2 Pokemon facing down 4, they've been talking all night about how they really believe in this Glamora, and the Glamora's finally hit the field. Fake Out is online. There is the chance that this Pokemon can bring it all home, but we're going to have to see how they make this happen. We know that there's Garchomp in the back. Actually, you know what? I think that this game might be over, because Garchomp hits both of these Pokemon for super effective. Trick Room's about to end, and it's going to outspeed them. So even if you KO all your own Pokemon with Earthquake, Earthquake's likely to pick up all the Pokemon on Lizette's side of the field as well. Alright, Kowtow Cleave lands into Sneasler. It does a little shy of half. Alright, Mega Glamora comes out. It actually underspeeds Sneasler, which is interesting. I need to check, but I'm pretty sure Sneasler is a naturally faster Pokemon. So this could be an indicator of the nature of Sneasler. Let me see. Glamora's speed... Yeah, Mega Glamora's speed is 101, so what we've learned here is that this Sneasler basically has to be adamant or trained in a way that that isn't giving it max speed. So despite losing this game, if Lizette is paying attention, they might have learned that they have the faster Sneasler, and the faster Sneasler always guarantees that you get Fake Out if you're fighting in a 1v1 situation. This gives information to Lizette, but that's information that might not be helpful back towards Almond Spy, so we'll have to see. Like, when your opponent does something, you can glean something, and as long as you don't reveal that information, that's helpful for you, but not for them, is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Let's see. Alright, so basically Sneasler, Farigiraf, Garchomp were really in King Gambit. Okay. Garchomp and King Gambit were really difficult for Lizette to remove last game, so we're gonna have to watch and see how they adapt this time. The Garchomp up front is a lot of trouble, and also the fact that Sneasler can kind of just throw out Dire Claws is really tricky. I think that Lizette did get really unlucky, though, with the fact that the Dire Claw might have needed to crit to pick up the Alolan Ninetales based on how it's trained. But we'll have to see how they adapt in this game. Alright. Alright, we see Ninetales plus Sneasler versus Garchomp plus Charizard. Alright, this is a pretty scary lead because Charizard can Mega Evolve and that will just remove the snow immediately. And also, technically, Garchomp is Scarfed and is susceptible to being picked off by Ninetales. But the thing is like, if Charizard Megas and protects, there's a chance that like Garchomp just clicks Rock Slide, hits the Ninetales, and it either flinches or Blizzard doesn't connect, and then you're just so far behind in a match that's already shown to be pretty difficult for Lizette. So we'll have to see what happens. There is a chance too that like Charizard does his Mega, he removes the snow, and then protects. But you know, if that's the case, Lizette can always just make a heads-up play and remove their Ninetales and say, you know what, I'm coming back later. Let's see what happens. Garchomp is removed from the field, and with Garchomp removed, we know. Oh, okay, this is a very scary turn. Garchomp removed from the field, we know that that it's not getting picked up by Blizzard. Sun goes up. And Farigiraf comes out. Farigiraf's gonna block any potential fake outs. Okay, we see a Protect from Sneasler. What do we see from Ninetales? Ninetales goes for Icy Wind, but someone dodges it. Farigiraf dodges it. Does Ninetales, or does Charizard? Charizard gets connected with the Icy Wind, which is potentially good for it. Heat Wave connects into what? Heat Wave connects into Ninetales, and that's gonna be good by Ninetales. Garchomp's looking a lot stronger with its biggest oppressor removed. And this slow Charizard could be a real nightmare if it gets into Trick Room. Alright, now we have double poison types with no Focus Sash, and we know that there's Scarf Garchomp in the back. This is going to be a really tricky board state for Lizette to figure out. Also, notably, something that could be improved upon on Lizette's team is adding a potential flying type to switch in on Garchomp, and like, because like Garchomp has no issue locking in an Earthquake, right? Because if it does, every single Pokemon on their team is just going to keep taking that shaky ground damage every single turn. But if Lizette had a Pokemon that was immune to ground type, that could be a potential win con in the long game. Okay, we see Mega Glamora, the giant long nose. Charizard protects. And realistically, this is a double up into Farigiraf. Because if Trick Room goes up, then Charizard goes down. Or sorry, if Trick Room goes up, then Charizard can just start going crazy. Actually, you kind of want Trick Room to go up in hindsight, because if Trick Room goes up, then you get to threaten Garchomp. Alright, Sneasler did use its White Herb. It is now the fastest Pokemon on the field. But the thing is, I don't think Sneasler has enough gas in the tank to finish off Garchomp. Also, notably, another Pokemon that could be helpful in this matchup, since Garchomp seems to be really oppressive, is something with Ice Shard to just pick it off, like a Mamoswine or something like that. I do feel like Lizette has a strong team, but it's a really difficult team to maneuver. Alright, Spiky Shield comes out from the Glamora. It's realistically going to be close combat into Garchomp. It's going to do a good chunk. It's not going to finish it off. It could be in range of a Sucker Punch from King Gambit, though, and this could be Lizette's way back into this game. We see Earthquake. Earthquake into a minus defense Sneasler is going to be enough to remove this Pokemon from the field. Okay. Now, the last Pokemon basically has to be King Gambit. Or it's looking like it's Curtains. did Lizette bring the King Gambit? And does King Gambit have enough in the tank? Alright, it is King Gambit. I feel like Sucker Punch can probably pick up Garchomp from here. I'm not certain, but if it is, then the game's not over, but it's looking a lot better for Lizette. Is this Black Glasses King Gambit? Cherry Ballad. It is Black Glasses, so I'm thinking it's almost rated with a 32 viewers. Thank you. We've been having a crazy stream today. It got like a doesn't matter, but we're in the middle of a game 2. Basically right now, Garchomp is threatened by Sucker Punch. It retreats to avoid Sucker Punch damage. Sneasler comes in. Glamora doesn't want to see that. Howdy, Devil's Den. Glad to have you. All right, Sucker Punch fails. Power Chum into Zard. This endgame is getting pretty scary. Alright. Well, we're getting raided. The raid has happened. Alright. So, realistically, the Garchomp is Scarf. We always click Protect here on both Pokemon. Then you Sucker Punch the Garchomp because it can't avoid it. And then it becomes a Glamora vs. Sneasler endgame. But it still comes down to the Sucker Punch pickup. With Black Glasses, I'm convinced it has to, right? I won my final match. Next week, I'm going to win the whole thing. Apex, look, that's awesome, dude. That's so awesome. We're going to have you next week. It's going to be a great week. All right, Spiky Shield. All right, Double Protect. This is the correct play. All right, Stomping Tantrum. Interesting to lock into a single target move here. Yeah, I played badly during my run, but I commented the rest was a fun time. How did things go here? They've been going well. I just started commentating from the very beginning, and I've been trying to help level everybody up, you know? People that are feeling like they want to, like, look back on their matches because we don't have replays. This is where we're making it happen. All right, so Sucker Punch into Garchomp, and then it's going to be Glamora. Like, okay, here's the way that things are going to go. Sucker Punch goes into Garchomp. Then Sneasler might just target into Glamora, hoping it gets a pickup, because King Gambit's never picking up Sneasler on its own. But I think Glamora's not so frail that it's going to go down to a single Sneasler attack, which will then let Glamora and King Gambit pick it up afterwards. There is always the case that they just go for a close combat into Garchomp, because I think we saw last time that Glamora outspeeds Sneasler. Is it enough to pick up? It's not. Close combat into King Gambit would make it so that you do outspeed the Glamora next turn. They go for Dire Claw. They're just like, maybe I'll just sleep him. I don't know. Unfortunately, I can't stay long because I have to make food for myself. Good luck with the rest of the stream, my stream man. Yeah, no worries, dude. Thanks for the raid. That's crazy. That is awesome. Thank you. All right, and then we are going to a game 3. All right, cool. Alrighty. I'm feeling hype. I'm excited. This Glamora's been popping off. Maybe we'll see Gallade, or not Gallade, Gardevoir. I'm interested in that too. Alrighty. Okay, so we've seen Charizard. We've seen basically all the Pokemon on Trainer side of the field. Trainer is what is their tag? I'm looking it up right now. Almond Spy. So we have not seen this Whimsicott enter the field, which is very frequently, so maybe that'll come here. I mean, Tailwind would be pretty strong. Actually, would Tailwind be strong? Yeah, it's not bad. The thing to note if you're just coming in and you're watching this is that Lizette does not have a Focus Sash on any of these Pokemon. So basically they're like all in on like making sure that they just get the right things right. Like there's no room for mistakes, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Let's see. Alright, so we have Sneasler plus Glamora. This is the I don't care if you bring Garchomp lead, followed by Charizard plus Whimsicott. Well, it's good to have Poison and Rock types against the Pokemon that hate Poison and Rock types, so I would say this is a great lead for Lizette here. But with that said, Garchomp comes in for free. That's what I like. answer to having an answer for Charizard, but I don't like the fact that, like, how do you stop the Garchomp from coming in and being annoying? Let's see. How do we deal with this? Okay, it looks like they're both thinking pretty heavily about it. Also, Ninetales in the back would be a really good answer for how to deal with that later. But the thing is like, okay, once you start thinking about it, it's like, okay, Garchomp comes in here, right? Now we have Charizard in the back. Charizard in the back. And then what's going to start to happen is like, oh, we're going to have Tailwind up. Then we're going to have Tailwind and Charizard and Garchomp. And that seems like it's going to be really strong into this team. Alright, interesting they choose not to Mega the Gardevoir. To me, that says, hey, I have another Pokemon I want to Mega in the back, potentially. Or maybe... Well, I mean, there's no way you're getting Toxic Spikes up without it, so it's like, it's just interesting. I wonder why we're making this play here. Earthquake is looking really, really strong and really, really difficult to deal with. Sinestcha will not save either of these Pokemon from being Earthquaked. But notably, Sinestcha will save these Pokemon. Or, okay, like, if Ninetales and Sinestcha are the two that are in the back, which is a big ask when King Gambit just carried the team's back so much last game. Okay, Whimsicott switches out. Charizard comes in. Whimsicott was faster than whoever switched out, which means that... Alright, who's this? Ninetales. Ninetales does outspeed Charizard. Sneasler protects. I mean, this is a really good, interesting positioning play. Earthquake is kind of safe to throw out here. This play is going to be kind of scary because it's going to be... If... How much does Earthquake do? You know what? That's actually really rough because now what's going to happen is when they when they Mega, it's going to make it so the sun goes up and sun will override the snow, which will make it so the defense goes down, which means that the Earthquake will now pick up the Ninetales. I don't know how you get out of this situation if you're Lizette. I think you kind of had to just give up your Glamora, which sounds terrible. Like, oh, you know what? There is a way out. Okay, I see the vision. If the fourth Pokemon is Sinestcha, it doesn't matter because you will heal enough up where you won't go down to just this. And then if you remove Garchomp, like Charizard and Whimsicott are not the Pokemon that are going to take you to the next step. So it really depends. Like, did you bring all these Pokemon that are weak to Garchomp, or do you have that Sinestcha? This is the big moment. Okay, Garchomp retreats. King Gambit comes in. Charizard Megas. Okay, like, great heads up play if the last Pokemon is Sinestcha. They identified that, like, hey, Garchomp just beats everything. Okay, Sneasler goes for a double protect. Heat Wave does miss. Icy Wind. It misses the wrong Pokemon. This Gambit's gonna get to +2. Things are going from good to bad really quickly for Lizette. Heat Wave hits into the protect. Bye-bye. Yo, is cut X1 today? There is not cut. I apologize. Clips Gaming Shorts. We are just doing 5 rounds of this tournament. It's just practice, so after this round, the tournament's going to conclude. Alright, Kalima. Alright. So Garchomp's not in yet, but I don't know how you deal with Garchomp when it does get in. Especially, like, because that's kind of why I feel like Sash Sneasler could be better. Because then you're not like, oh, I instantly die. The +2 Gambit is also just about to chunk things so badly. Okay, cool. If you're done with your games, thanks for playing, and I appreciate you watching the stream. It means a lot. If you want to join the Discord, there is a link in the Limitless. I host them every single Monday, and I'll post a link to the next one very shortly. I'm glad you could join. All right. Let's see. Lizette has to do a lot of work to maneuver themselves out of this position, and it's funny because, like, if you could get rid of the Garchomp, the rest of the team does really well in the rest of this team. All right, Sucker Punch does not pick up. A close combat we'll probably do the majority of this King Gambit's health if it doesn't have Choppleberry. Or sorry, if it has Choppleberry. It does not have Choppleberry, so it goes down. We have team sheets, I just haven't looked at this. This is Black Glasses King Gambit. Alright, we're going to see another potential Heat Wave here. Okay, I actually see the vision. If you dodge this Heat Wave, can you dodge the Heat Wave, Sneasler? Okay, the new vision is you have to Dire Claw sleep the Garchomp. It is the only way, or paralyze. We'll take either, but preferably sleep. Because Garchomp's coming in right now. I hate to break it to you, Sneasler. I guess, actually, you know what? We did see close combat was enough to bring it to Sucker Punch range. So if the fourth Pokemon is King Gambit, there is a chance. Also, I see what they're thinking here. The idea is if I bring Whimsicott in here, I can force this Sneasler into using the same moves over and over again, because I believe this was Encore Whimsicott. So, if this Whimsicott uses Tailwind or... Okay, yeah, Tailwind will just kind of seal the game, because Tailwind will make it so Scarf Chomp outspeeds Unburdened Sneasler. Glamora Megas. Kind of crazy that Glamora's been sitting on that Mega for so long. Protect. Oh no! Encore into Mega Glamora! It's gonna Spiky Shield again. It doesn't succeed. Uh-oh. This is getting bad, guys. I don't see how Glamora gets out of this one. Especially because the Whimsicott's just about to Encore the Sneasler as well. I think that's game. I don't know how you get out of this situation. Maybe Lizette's a better Glamora player than I am and can see some lines that I don't see, but basically you always can Encore the Sneasler and click another Heat Wave, and nothing on the other side likes to take it. Okay, here's another Spiky Shield, but now we're clicking Protect again? How are we breaking this Encore loop? Heat Wave. Alright, who is this final Pokemon? And do they have a way to remove Garchomps after getting Heat Waved by Charizard? And also, can they save us from Whimsicott's Encore? I almost see Seed turn 1 into the Zard. It's a hard game. You're playing really well, Cherry. King Gambit comes out. You know what? If there's a Gambit, there's a way. You know, we're just gonna hope that... Been a very fun stream with all the spectating, commentating. Might have to make a team for next week to get all this top tier coaching. Of course, yeah. The goal is to help people get as good as possible. You know, I've made top 4 of a regional, so I can say I'm pretty good. Sometimes. It's Trey? The Dolphin Assassin is Trey? I would have never known. Alright, Spiky Shield. I unironically think you Swords Dance with King Gambit this turn. Nope. We'll see if it ended up mattering. Okay, no, they will for Weather Ball. Never mind, I take it all back. I didn't know they had Weather Ball. Alright, Super Free. Thank you for the follow. Greatly appreciated. I hope you've had fun watching. I've had fun playing. Well, I haven't played. I've been having fun yelling at the screen about games that I'm not playing. Wait, I threw that turn? How did you throw that turn? You were gonna get Super Weather Balled. I need to understand. What was the option? Alright, let's see. We're gonna peep in and see if we can watch the people that are currently 4-0 in this tournament. Alright, 9, 3, 4, 8, 9, 2, 5, 3. Your advice during the GCF and playing this tour has significantly upgraded my best team. That's good to hear. I'm glad I could help. If I protected, I had a win con. Was the win con protect, wait until weather ball's gone, then swords dance, then suck. Yeah, okay, I see the win con now. Good pointing that out there. You know what, Cherry? That's the whole thing though. Like if you're looking for those win cons, if you're like, okay, there's a thing my brother and I say. I guess both my brothers and I say it at this point. But it's that you have to be a rat while you're playing this game. You're a rat. You're trapped. You're everything's against you. You have to look for that cheese and find your out. Like the world can crush you at any minute. You have to be like, how am I going to survive this? Thank you for your kind words on my set in team earlier. It means a lot. Of course. If there's anything I can give, it's kindness. That feels like a the TN blast. Kindness blast. Heatwave Mr. Ra. Okay. Let's zone in here. This is the final set of the tournament, basically. Like, this is the... They're both 4-0, and we're going to game 3. Alright, we have 2 Pokemon down. These are the final 2 Pokemon remaining. Let's check the board state. There are no turns of Tailwind. There are no turns of Trick Room. This Rotom is what? This is a Citrus Berry Rotom, and it's got full health. And this is a Garchomp that is Scarf. So it's going to outspeed things. Did we see what move it was locked into? Because if it's locked into Earthquake, they're in a pretty decent board position. Gengar's been removed and Incineroar's in the back. Garchomp's at low health. The most annoying thing is that this Rotom's probably going to survive basically any attack. Okay, they removed Gambit and Garchomp already, so I have to imagine that they're not locked into Rock Slide, because that's not a move that's particularly good into those 2 Pokemon. Locked into Stomping, I think, but yeah, I know Sneasler was adamant, just told me I was speed tying. Okay, Fake Out went off. If they were locked into Stomping, that's a really interesting move, because this is going to pick up the Garchomp. I guess the idea here is that Sneasler's going to close combat everything, and Charizard is going to survive a singular Rotom move. Despite all your Rage Powder, I'm still just a Rattata in a cage. So true. So true. But yeah, knowing Sneasler was adamant just told me I was speed tying. I'm sorry, Cherry. You played it really well, though. Like, I was like, how are they going to get out of this? Also, fun thing to note. I think the thing that helped me to get the best at the game, this is probably bad advice. Like, most people aren't going to like hearing this. Like, if you talk to a high-level player, they're probably going to disagree with this. But if you play with bad Pokemon, you will get better if you keep playing. And the reason that is because you can't win with a bad Pokemon by playing poorly. If you want to get good with bad Pokemon, you have to get really good to make up for how bad the Pokemon are. So if you have a favorite that's pretty bad, you're probably going to get pretty good if you keep playing with them. Alright, so this is a double protect turn, and honestly, it's looking super favored for Holosay, because what they've done is they created a board where Sneasler's going to go first, followed by, by Charizard. I'm reading the comments, I'm going to respond to that in a second. Okay, Volt Switch will be enough to pick up. If this Charizard has Solar Beam, it's going to be able to probably KO Rotom from here, and then it's going to be Sneasler and Charizard versus I thought it said Quagmire, the Incineroar, Quarantine. But Trey says, or sorry, Dolphin Assassin on YouTube is saying use 2 cannon. That's his secret to his success. He used 2 cannon, and then he used Cobalion, and it was a night and day difference. Alright, close combat removes the Incineroar. I guess the idea there was like, hey, if Incineroar survives this and I can get a Throat Chop and remove this, Charizard, then maybe I can win this game. Solar Beam goes off. Okay, they forfeit. I was gonna say, maybe there's a world where you protect until, the sun goes down, and then you swing then. But it was looking like the writing was on the wall there, so that one is over. Is that our final set? Bane versus Johnstar is still happening, and so is Toasty versus Barazuka, so we're going to see if we can jump into one of those. No low-key, I think that's good advice for mid-level players, but please God, if you're new, just use the proven team. If you're new, it's going to be way more helpful to use proven teams, because being new, you want to figure out how the game works. figure out how the game works, then go build your team and make one tweak. Be like, oh, they have Sinestia. I'm going to try Clefable. And it'd be like, oh, this made it better in this way, and this made it worse in that way. Clefable's a pretty good Pokemon. I went to a tournament with a Hisuian Decidueye like the other day, and it didn't feel terrible. Like, I had win conditions that were only made available for having Hisuian Decidueye. Did I think it was better than other Pokemon? No, definitely not. But it's important to find out what strengths each Pokemon bring. Okay.
I was gonna say, a lot of mons in this format don't feel like objectively terrible. It just feels like
What are you giving
not
up to get it?
well meshing.
Yeah. Okay, so funny enough, the opponent has the Icy Hot going on. They have a burned Mimikyu and a frozen Hydreigon. They're like, how am I getting out of this one? Also, sometimes Hydreigon just floating there is so good. Sometimes statusing your opponent's Pokemon is more valuable than taking a KO, because if your opponent's Pokemon is just stuck there, it means you get to fight a 2v1. Because, like, look at this Hydreigon. It's literally a statue. I didn't think Excadrill was going to take that. Maybe he's that guy. Alright. Excadrill survives the Hydro Pump. And then... what's this board state? I guess they can kind of... I was going to say they can click Earthquake kind of freely, but Rotom's just hanging out. Rotom's really not threatened by the Excadrill, but the sleeping Hydreigon might just be the key. Frozen I kind of question how you even get into a situation with a frozen Hydreigon. Normally it's like, if you're getting hit with an ice move with Hydreigon, he's probably just going down. Okay, Protect on the Incineroar. Generally, Incineroars only have Protects on Perish teams. Oh, he's been released. Heat Wave. Also, good thing to note for some people is that sometimes Heat Wave, or not Heat Wave specifically, sometimes fire moves will thaw you out of being frozen. I don't think Heat Wave is one of those moves. Also, way to come out of freezing to burn someone else. That's just a power move. Alright. Instant Protects. That was honestly the best turn Bear could have hoped for. Ninetales isn't strong enough, that's why it's frozen. True. But also, Ninetales could have clicked Gleam and just said bye-bye. It'll be fun to try and think of Mega Altaria. It'll be fun to try, and I think Mega Altaria has some potential in this format. Well, Ijon was playing Mega Altaria. Did Ijon drop from the tournament? They were in round 2 at least. Let's see. I can look at standings, just look for Altarias. Where'd they go? There they are. They went 1-2 drop. But they may have gotten a little too crazy with the sauce because they had Altaria and Hisuian Decidueye and Raichu. Sometimes try something new. Sometimes be okay trying only one new thing at a time. Tubby takes that Earthquake really well. Matcha Gotcha thaws you. I was gonna say Matcha Gotcha doesn't freeze. Dodging a Hydro Pump is huge there. Nobody can convince me crit rate isn't higher in Champions. Yeah, I feel like crits happen all the time. Maybe it's because maybe crit rate feels higher, ironically, because we're not using the auto crit moves. Like, moves have a chance to crit because they're actually critting. Also, this is rough because missing that Hydro Pump basically ensures that, like, Gengar kind of has to protect you. Oh, wait. There's a mind game at play here. If they switch in Ninetales, they can tag this Excadrill and knock it out. But then Gengar will go down to Tyranitar. It's interesting because they could have just brought Ninetales in here and then had speed control that way. But they have a vision here. I'm kind of questioning what that vision is. It might be like Mega Gengar plus switch in Ninetales. Or Mega Gengar plus Volt switch in Ninetales plus Protect, then Disable, if that's what they have cooking. Also, crits are more impactful when they do happen because of low power items, I think. That's also probably pretty true, Izzy. Alright, Mega Tyranitar enters, so you remember them more. You remember the trauma of being crit more. Alright, Excadrill protects. Gengar protects. Everyone protects. Does Tyranitar protect? Knock off. Alright, now the question is, does this Gengar have disable, or what are we doing here? Or are we just stalling out the final turn of Sand? Sand has 3 more turns. This is looking pretty rough. Let's see. Kind of questioning how Toasty's going to plan on maneuvering themselves out of this one, because Excadrill's just so threatening to them. And the fact that they can't both disable and remove the Excadrill are rough. Like, Gengar's going to need a spread move here to get any kind of momentum happening. Ooh. I guess that they wanted to make a really aggressive play and they didn't think they would switch Ninetales in. I think if you're Bear, you always just go for a knockoff there, because it's like, worst case scenario, yeah, you lose your weather, but like, you need to remove this Gengar, because Gengar's kind of the big threat for this team. I guess Protect also keeps it so that you don't get you don't lose the ability to click knockoff. Also, more likely than not, this Mimikyu's got the ability to set Trick Room or set itself up. Let me look. It's Barazuka, right? Alright, Barazuka... No, never mind. Barazuka doesn't have any of that. A Rock Slide would be really devious here as well, because it would probably do a significant amount of damage to Ninetales. Alright, Encore into Protect. Didn't read that it had Encore. And that Mimikyu used Shadow Sneak. This Ninetales has this Tyranitar trapped with Encore. I don't think Shadow Sneak's going to be significant enough damage. And Toasty is really locking this game down. Like, a Shadow Ball into Mimikyu is probably going to remove it. But then it's... And because they can't switch out, then you're going to have locked-in Tyranitar versus these two. But you're also going to be able to... Like, does this Ninetales have a fairy move to remove this Hydreigon? It's only got Blizzard, but Blizzard should be more than enough because it's already been frozen, so I imagine this Hydreigon's probably at like half health. Tubby protects because it has to. It gets the protect. Alright, Shadow Sneak. Does this KO Gengar? No, nowhere near. I didn't think it was going to, but I just wanted to ask the question. Alright, Shadow Balls is probably going to remove Mimikyu. And then are we doing Blizzard for Chip into the protect? Alright, Blizzard. Wait, Altaria can KO before Mega Chomp with Draco? Altaria's not faster than Chomp. Alright. So, I think, well, the fact that it has more than half of its health and it got hit by Blizzard before leads me to believe that Blizzard's probably a roll here. But either way, it still looks really, really good for Toasty, because you just do Blizzard plus Shadow. Actually, no, yeah, you just do Blizzard plus Shadow Ball and that should just be it. Alrighty. Alright, cool. Let's see. It looks like Bear is trying to really figure out how they're going to get out of this one. They've played it really well, but, I mean, getting frozen and burned and everything is really difficult. Toasty says, you know what, let's play it a little slow. I'm going to go for Protect. Maybe the idea here was, like, if they Protect, I don't want to get caught out. Alright, so this is a Heat Wave. Is this a Scarf Hydreigon? Heat Wave does connect. It does not KO. Let's see if Blizzard KOs the Hydreigon. It does. Okay. And then... Alright, basically this Tyranitar is super locked. And that should be the end of that set. Alright, they're going for Perish. Perish does work. It's a little unnecessary, but... Alright, cool. Parrish is... No, because they have him Encore locked into Protect, right? And they have a Rotom in the back. They're fine. I think it's just super overkill. Because you just double protect this turn, and then you pivot in Rotom, and then you protect the following turn, and then it's over. Well, actually, you don't even need to protect because they're Encore locked. Oh, I thought the room was dead. No, they have Rotom. Yeah, no, I got what you're saying. It's all good in the hood. It is funny because it's one of the... Yeah, you just... Gengar throwing the Sludge Bomb is so funny. Just like, take that. Alright, Blizzard will do it. Alright. It's fine game deciding Rock Slide accuracy was a suggestion in Game 3. Alright, and that is the end of our tournament. I hope you all had fun. I am going to share the results in just a second here. Let's see. Tournament page. I hope everyone had a great time watching. Let's see. I had fun. Good. I'm glad you had. Alright. Holisay was our winner. They're going to get a special flair in the Discord. They're going to get to be like, woo, I'm cool. I'm also going to put them in the Hall of Fame. We have Holisay, Milcel, Georgie, Mastermark, Eden Lau, Almond Spy, Bangwins, and Izzy were our top 8 today. Congratulations to everyone that played. If you had a fun time watching, please follow, like, subscribe. Make me a cajillionaire with all those subscribes you gave me. Thank you for everything, and I will see you guys next week. If you want to play in the future, the link to the Discord is coming in the chat right now. So, oops, almost messed it up. There we go. I will post a tournament for you to join tomorrow. So I will post the tournament tomorrow, and then you can join it for next week. Always back here, 7:30 on Mondays. So thanks for watching, everybody. Didn't do as well as I wanted, but I had fun. Trust me, you get to the point where your results start doing this. Because what happens is you do well, you beat your opponents, they get better, they do better, you do worse, you do better, and it's just like a constant whoop. So thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for following. Let's pass you guys to someone else that's cool. Let's see. Time to do a little Rady-Roo. Looks like this person is playing single battles. All right, this person's trying to get to Champions rank. Let's pass you over to them. Oh, didn't realize I was going to half screen it. All right, you can see behind the curtain.